God.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the official TikToker election coverage brought to you by Restream. If you're thinking about starting your own stream, there's a link down in the description that you can use. Helps out the channel. Really appreciate it if you did. But yeah, we're going to be covering the election. I got just about every single election source up here ready to go, and some of the best minds on the internet ready to dissect it. So without further ado, we'll get into it. And we have some more reserves on the way. We got more brilliant minds of TikTok coming in. So what's up, fellas? We got John Scott Won't Stop. I don't think they need any introduction at this point, but Mr. My Dude Tommy and Yava Kai.
It's me. It's an honor to be here with you guys. Like I still will never feel anything bigger than I'll always feel small time. So when I'm with big creators, I gush a little bit. I'm like, oh my God.
I feel like we're all kind of small time in our own way, but you know.
Yeah.
Except for Tommy.
I'm not fucking big. I have 160,000. That's not that much.
Tommy, everybody knows who you are on conservative TikTok. It's like, yeah, the
I feel
guy.
I feel like people just don't follow me. Like I show up on For You pages, and they're like, "Fuck this guy again."
Oh.
I think that's what's happening. Everyone's already seen me. All of TikTok has seen me. They're just
hold on. I'm trying. I get the. Well, not hold on. You guys go ahead. What is the issue you're having? What does it say when you log in? Hold on. Let me just.
Oh, I remember the.
You guys go ahead.
I remember the video.
Let me pull it up.
I followed Tommy with a video when he was talking about police brutality. It was back in May or June, I think it was. It was a long time ago, and I was like, finally, someone who gets it. And I was still being exposed to political TikTok. I wasn't seeing a lot of people.
Once you put your foot in the water, someone yanks you in.
Oh yeah. Up until then, I was on purely Star Wars TikTok, and then I ran into Conscious Lee and Tommy here, and I was like, yes, finally, some good content. And then down that hole.
Yeah, David Kai's been following me for a long time. There's a few people I have that are my mutuals that have been following me for.
I started following Tommy.
Here's the rundown, basically, of this is a New York Times. We'll go in on some of the other stuff, but according to what I've saw on the Twitter and everything, the Republicans are looking for about 1 million votes. They think about 1 million votes is what they need to catch up today, because obviously the early returns were good for Democrats, but this is just the early numbers. But New York Times does a good job of tracking it, and I seen that DeKalb County actually outdid their
general election.
They outdid the general election, which that's a deep blue county.
That's because of all the kids that are going to be 18 by tomorrow or today. 18 by today.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest trending hashtags right now is boycott the GA election, or hashtag GA boycott.
Yeah.
Yes, sending that around.
That's why I'm not voting.
So we have.
All right. Now
we
I'm
have some
going to
votes
try
coming
and help. I'm going to try and help Michelle here get on. Go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
So John Ossoff is winning by a total of about 130 votes, 110 votes, something like that. So maybe 200. I don't know. My math's not working. I didn't have enough coffee. So, yeah, they're both winning. It's weird. Just for now, at least. We'll see how it goes. If you guys are joining in on the live stream, I don't know who's all going. I was talking to my live earlier.
Warlock has an advantage because Leffler is an idiot. She's just an idiot. She doesn't know how to connect to the people. Doesn't know how to talk to the people. Has no idea what any of them are going through. Doesn't even try to.
She's a complete stiff, man. She's frozen solid.
When it comes to
Ossoff, 5 words: radical, left wing, Raphael Warnock, Democrat. That's it.
Oh my God, yeah. She is everything that the left wants to burn.
Ossoff in Purdue. Ossoff was smart. He jumped all over that social media. He's all over social media. Purdue is like going on air, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, when Ossoff was talking about how you did deals with the Communist Party and blah 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 blah," and Purdue sat there on Fox News like, "Yeah, we did, and we'll do it again," and you're like, "Communist is not a word that your side likes." Chill.
Yeah, they freak out.
He's only 33.
Yeah, he's younger than I am. I'm the old guy.
He's only 33. Yeah.
Yeah. He actually ran a pretty good TikTok campaign too. He was popping up in my For You page.
I definitely started simping for him by last week.
Yeah,
he's kind of dragging. He's letting Warnock ride his coattails on social media too, because Warnock's not all over social media like that.
No, yeah. I hope that what we see is that people are just like, I hope the Mitch McConnell situation with the stimulus check is what's going to be like, make everybody just say, frick this. Like,
see, and I didn't get why the Democrats didn't run on that, right? Because sure.
Source. Sorry, Sarah in the chat, she said she just Googled it and the election results say Purdue and Loeffler leading with 1% reporting.
Yeah, this is the update right now. That's what the New York Times had. These are live results here right now.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm using Decision Desk. They usually do a pretty good job. So this is what I was saying is probably going to happen.
1% reported. It's plus 1, -1 right there. You can see it.
Don't they have mail-in ballots to count too? I'm not going to take a couple days.
I think.
They're
going to video.
They might get.
So. Just so we can go over it, so everybody that's just joining, I don't know. I think a lot of people from my live went over to the actual thing because I dropped like 100 people, but whatever. So I'll just go over it really quick. I think probably what we're going to see is a similar repeat. You're going to watch where they're sort of going to be following each other pretty closely as votes in these smaller Democratic towns show up, and then the Republicans are just going to take off. And it's really going to be the back end, 2 o'clock in the morning or whenever they stop counting, or we're probably going to have a pretty good idea of if the Democrats can win it. Because, Fulton County, they're going to release in bigger blocks, but you're going to see the Republicans surge. They're going to take a pretty big lead. I would be surprised if they didn't at first.
Do you guys think that it will be settled tonight? Me and my roommate were talking about that. Like, do you think it's going to be?
It's possible, but not likely.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. You're going to have the. I think either way this comes down, it's going to be close. Yeah. That's my own. I think we're probably looking within 20,000 votes either way. Yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. I think the reason that I'm so up on the Democrats, I think if it is going to swing in a direction where it's a huge, it's probably going to be towards the Democrats' favor since the Republicans were selling fraud, right. Who wants to show up to vote, but we'll see.
Well, Ossoff's got to make up 88,000 votes.
Right.
That's what he's got to make up. And Warnock, he won by like 10%, but Doug Collins was in the primary race and he got 17%. And, he was like the far right goofball. So, that's probably going to go to Loeffler. But goddamn, she is just so unlikable, man. She might be the worst political candidate I've ever seen.
I'll tell you what, though, when I see stuff like that driven, I literally wonder, like, how do these people even get a seat in the first place? Like, how do they get a shot at the table? Because, I mean,
she paid for it.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
She's the richest. Yeah. She's the richest person in Congress.
And her, Mitch McConnell went down one. I mean, everybody went down one.
Her husband, David Icke, is he runs ICE or ICE, but people call it ICE. But they own the New York Stock Exchange. Like they are, like private jet for my private jet type loaded. That's the kind of people we're dealing with. What do you guys think? Chat on screen or no?
Whatever you
think
guys
about that. Like this though, I don't know. I don't know if I like it. We'll do it for a minute. We'll switch it up. We're just riding in it. First off, I'm just glad to see that you're healthy and back. Me and Tory Noodles were really concerned about you. We dropped. Dude, COVID kicked my ass for about a week. I fucking I'm pretty good about, you know, soldiering up when I'm sick, but goddamn, that for that week, I was fucking out of it. Like I felt fine for like a week, and then yeah, just one day it fucking hit me, and then just fucking got a hold of me, and it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just glad that you're okay. You know, it feels like Tommy dropped a video, I think today, that I totally resonated with. It's like for a while there, I was like, okay, it's pretty safe as far as like I know who to hang out with and who not to hang out with over COVID. Like there was like, yeah, don't hang out with Republicans. You know, they're all getting sick. But now it's true though. And now it's getting to the point where friends of mine are getting sick that have been careful.
Well, the reason I got it is my little sister, who's a nurse. She just moved back up to Minnesota, and she's looking for a place. But while she's looking for a place, she's staying with me. So that's why I got it, because, you know, she's in direct contact with. She works at an old folks home, so she's in direct contact every day, and she ended up getting it. And, you know, naturally, us, you know, being in the same house.
Yeah. Sorry
No.
to interrupt, but Intolerant Leftist is on my, because I'm live streaming too over here. And Intolerant Leftist is in all caps saying, I can't get on. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know.
Yeah. So, you know what? I think it's
here, but I don't really. It's like just sometimes have an issue getting on. I don't understand.
I think it's the Southerners, man. The last time we had
It's usually just the Republicans that have an issue getting on. So I don't know.
Did you hear that?
We're having an issue getting on too, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, only ones that have had trouble is Matt versus Politics and Dan. You know.
I had a little bit of issues in the beginning, but I was using Safari, and then when I switched over to using Google Chrome, I haven't had problems.
Right. Yeah. Usually, if you don't use Chrome, sometimes people have an issue.
Yeah.
But other than that, by the way, real quick, everybody, if you could like the stream, it'd be awesome. And my Twitch is also. If you prefer Twitch, I'm also streaming on Twitch. That's in the description. And by the way, if you're just a follower of mine or one of these guys and you like these guys, all their ats are in the description. So make sure you give them a follow.
Yes.
Continue. Yes.
No, it's if the Chris Wells had trouble getting into, so which is
that's right. Yeah.
Chris Wells cracks me up, and I really wish that he was on our stream that time, because that guy kills me. When we became mutuals, and I've said it before, but me and Chris Wells became mutuals, and like he sends like TikToks that he finds, and like he's very hyper and goofy in talking too. And I remember going like, "Wow, you're actually like this. Like your persona on TikTok isn't an act." And he's like, "Nope, I'm making hot dogs right now." It's really funny. So.
I think that helps people get ahead is when you're authentic.
So I want to talk about this really quick because people are in my thing. Fulton County, because people are already freaking out. They're saying Fulton County's at 21% in. No, it's a rough estimate. What happens is you have all of those mail-in ballots that are coming in same day on Dropbox, right? The drop ballots. You have ones that were still in the mail. They don't make a very accurate prediction on how many mail-in ballots are out. They just don't. They never have. In the state of Washington, 5% in King County can be, you know, half the fucking county. So it depends on the year.
The only thing that's
going on. So like we saw the last time.
The only thing that has me a bit worried from the early numbers is that the young people numbers are down. The 18 to 28 voting pool was about 20% in during the general election, and right now it's only something like 13 or 14. That was on the first exit polls.
That does.
So, exit polls are always great.
So I can. It's actually totally on. It's. I don't know what it is across like in person. That's probably a good thing that young people aren't showing up in person, because that's Republicans, right? In a large, like a more significant amount of them was going to be Republicans. The 18 to 24 in mail-ins actually up. So we'll see. Again, that's just what's been accounted for so far by the Secretary of State.
I'm talking about right now. It's just updated. I've been following AP on Google. And OSOP is up 91 to 50 or 91 to 51K. Warnock is up 100 to 100, 101K to 54K.
I think these are probably the first batches of mail-ins they have. They're going to get
It was
swarmed.
a huge jump. Like when it updated, it went from like.
Does
So
Georgia count the mail-ins first, or do they count them last, like Pennsylvania?
No, yeah, they count them last. I think that's the same
you
kind
think
of.
they would count them as they came in, so we could avoid this mess again. You know what I mean?
Well, the Republicans don't want them to do that because they don't want the
So they can
red
push
states
them back.
don't count them because it gives the the illusion that maybe they're up in the polls. You know what I mean? It's kind of like mind fuckery. Pennsylvania did the same thing, and that's why Trump railed against it, and that was the whole why people brought up the red mirage angle, because they didn't want they wanted people to realize, like, hey, mail-in ballots get counted last. That's why you're going to see Biden have a surge at the end, but that didn't really do any good because propaganda.
That was such a nightmare. More so for Tommy, but then I got his overflow of people like, "What do we do, Tommy?" And they're like freaking out, and he's like, "Chill." And, like, people would come to like my page and be like, or into my lives, and they're like, "Tommy's not answering my question. What happens with this?" And I'm like, "Is he freaking out? Am I freaking out? No. So stop freaking out. If we're freaking out, then you should freak out." But
It's
until
weird.
then, read the room.
Here's some exit poll numbers as far as election interference. If people think that the election,
Good news.
let's see, among Georgia Republicans who voted in the runoff election, about 3/4 say that the presidential election in Georgia was not conducted fairly, while more than 9 in 10 Democrats say the election, which President-elect Joe Biden won by less than 12,000 votes, was fair. Republicans voting in the Senate runoff appear to have a bit more faith in Tuesday's runoff election than they did in November's contest. Democrats are more than 9 in 10 are confident their vote in the runoff will be counted accurately, as are 7 in 10 independents. It would be counted accurate. Republicans are confident in the state. Yeah, so basically 70% of Republicans don't think that the November election was lawful.
Yeah, getting back to what John Scott was just saying, one of my litmus tests on TikTok when it comes to anything like political or like election
here
is seeing like big creators like you two here, Emma Silverman or like Anala, and like looking at them and like, okay, if they're chill, then I should also be chill. Like, that's how I look at it, because I don't know how you guys are super informed about everything, but yeah, it's like tuning into the news sometimes.
This guy.
Yeah.
Like, all the information you guys got about the election from Tommy, I got it like an hour before. So
Yeah.
I don't.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna pull the chat off the thing so we can see.
Really quick, someone said that Georgia's counting early votes early. I haven't seen anything.
I didn't see that. That's not
100,000 votes is what I saw.
Yeah, I don't, because I think that's a legal question. I don't think they're going to want to take that all the way to the Supreme Court to ask for an extension or see if it's legal or put up with the legal challenge. I think they're counting them day of.
Yeah, especially right now.
Yeah. Yeah, right now it looks like
Post office is doing pretty good.
Well, it doesn't.
right now Warnock is ahead 63. He's got 63% of the vote. But basically the issue is going to come. They're going to be ahead early, but it's well,
these are the first. These are going to be the first batches of early votes released by the state, released by the counties, right? Fulton County, DeKalb County, the big Democratic areas, the ones they've been counting all day. They may be better at it this time around but there's still a lot of votes. And so what you're really looking for is when that red starts filling in across the state and it stops. That's what we're looking for.
Well, the thing you can't get too worried about, because like the early votes is going to be a lot of red, because the smaller counties are almost all red, and they report first. So at first it's going to be, it should be, I mean, it's going to be a close election. We all know that, But the red counties are going to be done counting first, and then stuff like DeKalb, the Atlanta area, what is that? Where Lawrenceville, all that, Savannah area, they come in last. So
right. So we're
if they're ahead early, that's a really good sign that
right.
Yeah.
What we're looking for is when it's hard to tell now because it's hard to know what steps they've taken to streamline. Obviously, they have a lot more mail-ins, and they know that they've had 2 months to prepare. But when they start filling in with red, right, and we start getting 95, 90, it'll come in quick, right, for the Republicans.
Right.
When that stops, how far are the Democrats going to be behind? And that's it. If the Democrats, we get done with counting red and Democrats are only down by 200,000 votes, that's sort of what we're looking for.
Right.
I'm curious.
The mail-in vote was big, like early, or not the mail-in, but the early voting. About 3 million people voted early, and it seemed to favor Democrats.
Yeah.
So, but they said they're looking for about 1 million, 1.2 million. If they get that many people voting today, that's a good sign for Republicans. If it's less than that, we might have a shot.
I just got coffee delivered to me.
Yeah, I want to say the Democrats have a really good shot at winning, but unfortunately, this is Georgia, and I've been let down by their runoffs before. So this year is just different. So I'm not I haven't put a ton of hope into this election, but
well,
I'm really hoping for. I'm not holding
I had to put money on it. Hey,
blue. That would be great.
Bam.
Oh my God, she made it.
My aunt sees it. I'm on my phone. That's why I look so stupid.
Oh.
Okay.
You can turn it sideways.
I need to know, what is your first name? Can you tell us that, or you just want to go by Bernadette?
It's Michelle.
Oh, okay.
It
What?
used to be her username. It used to be Michelle at the top.
Oh.
Then it became TikTok Bernadette.
Well, everyone kept commenting that, and I said, well, I might as well put it in my thing. How do I flip my camera? I'm so bad with technology. I feel
Turn your phone sideways.
Oh, wait.
Nope.
Oh.
That doesn't work.
No.
I do
We
it.
You're right.
No.
I did it right.
I love it.
Back
It's
now,
a new
y'all.
show. Helping
I don't-
Michelle.
I mean, I thought, I don't know. That's how I do it on mine.
I'm gonna keep
Maybe
it
you got to
like
turn your auto. Do you have your auto lock on for your phone?
Yes, I
Well, I mean,
do.
that's it.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
What's
Okay.
gonna work?
Well,
Teamwork.
I wanted to do it on my computer so I can do it live on TikTok because I literally never do that, but I'll just do it this way.
All right.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. A few people have just had, I probably had, I don't know, 100 guests on at this point, differently. And sometimes people just have an issue connecting for some reason. And you know what else it might be? Because I already went live, sometimes it doesn't like people to join after the stream is already live. So I might have been before.
My laptop sent me a thing. It was Adobe stops supporting Flash after December or something. So it wouldn't let me use it at all, no matter what web browser I used. So.
Well, fuck. Now, okay, there we go.
One of your most enjoyable debates I got to witness driven was the one where you had me help moderate the chat, and it was Tommy versus that guy named Carl or something like that.
I was
Yeah.
That one got.
I had him I had him on again. Him and Matt debated whether Matt was a conservative or something. I don't. Yeah.
What is Matt? Maybe is a libertarian.
That's
I don't know
still
what
that guy.
Matt is.
That guy still shows up on my fucking For You page, and I hit not interested every fucking time. I should block him. I don't like the guy at all. Sorry if you're watching.
We all know who I feel that way about. I calls himself a libertarian, but libertarian to me is just conservative light. If you ask me.
I made a video on it. I literally made a video because I had a thing with a little back and forth with Benjamin Politics, who Tommy's no stranger to.
Well, I am now. He blocked me, so
Oh, he threatened. He challenged me to a fight, Tommy, and I was like, "Okay,
He's anemic. He's fucking anemic. How is that gonna work?"
He challenged me to a fight, and other friends of mine, other mutuals jumped in. They were like, "Yo, Jay's not a small guy," and it was really funny.
They hold on. Tyler Blundman, they all think that we're all small dudes for some reason.
Yeah,
Like, I'm 6'190".
I'm
Tommy's
6'200" and like boxing and MMA and football in my life. So it's like
I was raised in Long Beach, California, so I will fight anybody. Will I win? Maybe. Will I do damage? Definitely.
All right. Well, why we're there's a little bit of lull in the votes coming in. I want to get your guys' opinion of this political ad that might be the cringiest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
oh god.
Is it the Purdue one?
No.
Producer
Walker.
anti-Semitic shit against Ossoff.
Oh god, that guy's terrible, man. But,
I know.
You know, he's like a career CEO. He's been the CEO of Reebok. He was the CEO of Sara Lee. He resided over like 50,000 people losing their job. He purposely bankrupted another company, made a couple $1 million. Like, these people are legit Bond villains. Him and Loeffler, they're like the two worst people in the Senate.
When he got caught with selling his stock, I thought for sure they were going to fucking impeach him. There's no way.
You know, he's responsible for 1/3 of all senators' trades the last 6 years.
Yeah, I read that.
Him, out of the whole 100 of them, he's done 1/3 of the trade, something like 2,500.
Loeffler, like, buy medical equipment.
I'm Lauren Boebert, and I approve this message.
Cut. That's a wrap.
What the fuck? I'm already like,
What?
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a newly elected congresswoman from Colorado. Even though I now work in one of the most liberal cities in America, I refuse to give up my rights, especially my Second Amendment rights.
These people are such fucking LARPers, man. I swear to God.
what right? What right do we want?
I will carry my firearm in D.C. and in Congress. This caused outrage from Democrats and the media. Why? It's our job in Congress to defend your rights, including your Second Amendment, and that's exactly what I'm here to do. In D.C., of all places, we should be encouraged to practice our rights. So forget what you hear in the fake news. Here are the real reasons why I choose to defend myself in our nation's capital. I'm a woman and a mother of 4. I choose to defend my family with all of the force the Constitution provides. D.C. is one of the top 10 most dangerous cities in our country. Homicide rates and violent crimes are skyrocketing here. Being a member of Congress is pretty basic. I don't go to work in a motorcade or armored car. I don't get police escorts everywhere I go. I walk to my office every morning by myself. So as a 5-foot-tall, 100-pound woman, I choose to protect myself legally because I am my best security. One of the challenges of working in D.C. is people here don't understand how we live in real America. The Second Amendment is part of our lives. Gun ownership is cherished, and it makes our little town safer. As a young woman working late nights at a restaurant, I learned real fast how important it is to defend myself. After a violent incident outside my business, I took advantage of Colorado's open carry laws and began to carry at work.
It's ridiculously
My
long.
waitresses asked
fucking
if I
bar.
would open carry too.
Where's the
And now
air at?
Shootersville has mandatory firearm training and target practice available for my staff, most of whom are young women.
Looks like
Educated,
TSA
law-abiding
is
gun owners are the safest people in America to be around. So when anyone comes in to limit the rights and safety of my family, I'll tell them exactly what this mom thinks. I am here to say hell no, you're not. I have 4 children, I'm 5'0", 100 pounds, cannot really defend myself with a fist. So all you're going to do is restrict law-abiding citizens like myself. So this is why I choose to defend myself and my family. Not only is it my right, but it's a right I was sent here to protect from Rifle, Colorado. So if you see me in DC, say hi. You're safe with me.
That felt like 10 years long.
Real quick,
That was
I
really
have
long.
to have to say.
hold on. I want you to imagine had Ilhan Omar made the same ad saying she was going to take a gun
Oh my God.
Congress, would have fucking called in the National Guard and had her deported immediately.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there's 2 things I have to say about this. One, she says, I'm a woman and a mother of 4. And she says that because her baby daddy is her brother, and that's not legal to marry. So that's why she didn't say wife. Second,
She's also Q-pilled, by the way, too.
oh, for sure. Second, The police in DC, the chief, has already said, like, let her try it, and we are going to treat her like every other human being that tries to walk into DC with a gun.
Right. Yeah.
They will arrest her.
You're not walking into the Capitol building with a firearm. Number one, it's just
Not
not.
everybody that wants to attack.
Fuck around and find out. Second thing, if you do, you're not a fucking law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
What?
Like, I am 4'11" and 100 pounds, and I did not fucking relate to any of that. I don't know. She seems like one of those people who is like so obsessed with her height and like makes it her entire personality.
She said it like 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm 100 pounds, and I walk like this.
I need a firearm in the off chance Jeff Sessions decides to grope on me.
I mean, in her defense, that's pretty high.
Recently found out.
We know Lindsey Graham well. She's not his type.
Oh man, that's crazy to me. Also, can we just take a moment? Like, as soon as the ad played, I was like, that is a conservative. Like, as soon as it was up there, you can just tell. There's this air about conservatives that you're like,
we had another update.
It really cuts it all out.
So we had another update.
It's tightening though.
They're tightening up right now. So now it's 244, 245 to 225. John over Purdue, and then 245 to 220 Warnock over Loeffler. Uber. Who fucking cares? Why do they have
like you know how she came, Lauren Boebert? You know how she came to prominence? She went to an event for what's his face, Beto O'Rourke, after he said, "Hell yeah, we're gonna take your guns," and that's the interview that she showed. That's where she rose to prominence. Like, that's how all these conservative thought leaders always like become famous. They have like this viral moment where they're yelling at somebody about like they're not going to infringe on their rights, and before you know it, they're in Congress. And then she went on a live stream show and said she hoped QAnon was real.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Driven. 10.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
We have room for one more.
They have room for one more.
Yeah. Again, like, please be real, please.
Huh?
Fuck.
We have room for one more in here.
Yeah.
All right.
We need one more. You think we need one more?
Do you have JD Khan's contact?
Tell him to send me a message on Instagram.
Oh yeah, JD Khan was in my live a second ago.
He's watching it right now. He just texted me.
We didn't do the diversity thing real well on this live.
No.
Well, you know.
We need the calming presence of JD Khan. I had to DM him the other day. I was like,
I like his stuff.
You're not so happy lately.
Videos lately, actually.
He's supposed to be like the nurturing one, and I'm like, bro, like, you're stressing. You need to take a couple days off.
By the way, I see we got an influx of new people. If you guys could like the stream, I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, and also same on Twitch. If you'd rather watch on Twitch, link is in the description. And if you like any of these people, yeah, all their ats are in the description. And, be their friend.
Yeah, I try to answer all the messages I can.
He answers all his messages.
I'm fucking bad at it, but to be honest,
you can't DM me unless we're mutuals. First and foremost. Second, if you want to DM me over on Instagram. It's the same name. And third, I try to interact with every single comment left. I try to either like it or respond to it just to let you guys know that I saw it.
Yeah,
I had my DMs off for the longest time because I was getting hate, and then so I turned it off, and then I was like, you know what? I actually gonna miss it because I was using it to actually make videos, and I turned it back on, which is like, I don't know if y'all saw that video of the girl who was crying like at a Trump rally because someone like hit her door with a bat or something.
Yes.
And she like sent me this crazy ass message like going off about how no, you're the crybaby and blah blah blah, and then she's like F off and then immediately blocked me, and I was like, all right, well, that's good entertaining, video.
My
material.
favorite one of yours recently was you yelling in the car about people in Tennessee not wearing masks. And that was like my favorite one. You're like, you're stupid.
I don't give a shit anymore. And it sucks that it's gotten to that point. It's like I can't even go to the store without feeling like I'm going to kill myself. Like, because every time I have an order for Etsy, I have to go to the post office. And I live in the middle of nowhere, rural Tennessee. And the postal employees don't wear the mask. And then the people coming in there don't wear the mask. So like, I give people looks, and I ordered a Biden sweatshirt. I'm not like a Biden person, but I ordered a Biden sweatshirt just for when I go to the post office to wear it because I know it pisses people off, and I know that's super petty, but you know, I
have a sweatshirt hoodie in my merch line that you might like. It says "Radical Leftist" across the front.
I do like that. I might have to get that.
Yeah,
I would wear that.
got to be the communist one. That's going to be a good one.
So here's an update from the New York the Times says this: we are now at nearly 400,000 votes counted, and thus far the clearest takeaway is that both races are really too close to call.
Of course.
Yeah, they've counted a tenth of the votes. Like, but
yeah,
I'm
getting a report from AP, which I'm not sure how much. Okay, hey Tim, Jay sent you a message.
Okay. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Ossoff is pulling ahead again. Warnock is pulling ahead again.
Oh shit!
How many voters are expected out of Georgia? Do you guys know?
What happened?
What's the number of like expected voter turnout for Georgia?
Well, the November election was 4.1 million, I think. So they're expecting like 15% less than that.
I think it was more than that.
Maybe it was 4.9. It was either 4.1 or 4.9.
I mean, we have
3 million as of this morning, right?
4.9. That sounds right. 4.6. I don't know.
I think it was. Yeah, it was 4.9. So basically, they had 3.1 million vote early. That was early voting this time around. And Republicans were shooting for, they wanted to get about 1.2 million, like day of, like total vote, and they think that would help them win or put them in the driver's seat to win.
AP is reporting 16%.
Yeah.
Hey Keith, I saw your.
Well, yeah, no.
Thank you for that. It just popped up.
That
that
notification that I read, that was like 10 minutes prior to when I said it. So that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going over. I'm trying to. I mean, this is like kind of. What the fuck happened? No. I'm just trying to figure out if there's like a. I wish I had a bigger screen. Anfortunately, I'm poor, so I'm not.
Hey, me too.
I'm trying. I need to get another monitor.
It's our blue states.
It's really hard to do like this live stream and shit with one monitor, but I'm thinking about getting another monitor.
Yeah, I need it.
Because like chat shit doesn't show. Yeah, it's
mine's huge.
This thing.
Okay, so let me get. Let me see what else.
I'm trying to pull up to see sort of. Okay, this one's gonna have some more. I'm just sort of looking like doing like a comparative thing. To see sort of what percentage is coming in where, and if they're running low on, especially Republican areas.
Let's see what Mehdi Hassan has to say.
This is a county
He's
that
pretty
Democrats
good.
won big in November. They need to win big
Looks
again
good right now.
Also, he's doing that so far. Raphael Warnock is as well. Very similar breakdown there between him and Kelly Loeffler, the Republican.
These are certain counties, yeah.
In Fulton County, the biggest county in Georgia. Another key Atlanta suburb to keep an eye on is Gwinnett County.
Gwinnett, that's where Lawrenceville is.
Not as big as in Fulton, but 70-30 with more than a quarter of the vote in, and same with Raphael Warnock, 71 to 28.9.
Oh, so
looking very similar breakdowns here. They did run together, Warnock and Ossoff. They ran their campaign almost as a joint campaign. Let's have a look at one more. Rockdale County, an outlying metro county, is one of the ones that's gone from red to blue in recent years. Kind of a must-win tonight for Democrats. So far, John Ossoff, big lead there, nearly 80%.
Purdue
One
like
third of the vote in Rockdale County. Both
team,
Warnock and Ossoff have a big lead, 80-20 roughly lead for both of them in Rockdale County. We'll keep an eye on those counties and many more as the night progresses. 15% of the vote in total. too close to call, as you can see there. Only a couple of thousand votes between Perdue.
By the way, if anybody has,
so far in
well, I know a
that
couple of
race.
y'all know
Both
this,
races
but if anybody
too
has a
close to
link they
call.
want me to post up or
Almost
something.
70,000
Also, I'm
votes
pretty sure
between
you guys
Raphael
could
Warnock and
possibly
Kelly
share your
Loeffler.
screen. I'm
Well,
not
not
sure.
a bigger lead, but still
But there's a
less than
private
20%
chat where you
of the
could send me a link
Still a long way to
or
go.
whatever.
Yeah, I see
And
that.
our
Yeah, I
special
got
that. Private
coverage
chat.
continues in 60
Something.
seconds here on
I'm
Peacock.
trying to
Don't go away.
I'm trying to look on Twitter for some updates on a few things.
Well, what I'm curious of is I want to see how this plays out more than anything, just because we've had two big, huge bombshells that should destroy any kind of chance for the Republicans, right? I mean, we had the stimulus check scenario where it's like they shouldn't even have the Senate at all. Like that should tell you everything.
So I gotta. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No.
Go
It's
ahead.
fine. Go ahead.
I'm just because it takes a little bit of time to go over the data and stuff. Here's what I'm seeing like preliminarily early on, at least in like this small sample I used. Republican percentage of the vote that they're getting out of Republican areas is down. Places like Thomas, Worth County, those areas in the South.
Northern Georgia too, and that's kind of the dream scenario. Is it seems like right now at early anyway that voting is up in the deep blue areas and voting is down in the deep red areas.
Right, especially at a time where when I'm looking at it, half the votes
We
are
are
in
following
counties.
the race in Georgia,
Right.
the runoffs.
Democratic
We're
areas
getting
are
results in
4
all
or 5
evening. We're getting
points.
results
Republican
in.
areas
You
are
can
down
look
4 or
there.
5 points.
18% of the vote in
But it's
NBC
still
News
early.
desk.
Right now,
Too
total.
close to call,
Hold on.
between John Ossoff and David.
That's the
It's
total
still early.
number
There's
now.
it's not across enough orders of magnitude. I would expect that the precincts reporting right now are of a similar size. So I think we'll probably know in a few hours when more start coming in.
Right.
Here on
If
the
it's
overall
going to
average.
maintain that trend or not.
Well,
I honestly think that Trump, in a way, he wants them to lose, and I think he could do like it's kind of the perfect storm here. Rile up the first of all, like if we do win these 2 elections, it's like Stacey Abrams. Even though I'm not a big fan of a lot of her politics, you got to give it up to her. She won the damn state. Like her get out the vote campaign has been amazing, and it's really a roadmap on how we can win in the future. But basically, Trump has thrown this wrench into this thing where he depresses Republican turnout, raises Democrat turnout, and 2 seats that should have gone easily red, especially in a runoff election, which a Democrat has never won.
Really? I didn't know that.
Georgia ends up going blue.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the overall right now, and just updated it again. John is like overall like 90,000 ahead, and then Raphael is about 97 ahead.
I mean,
God, I hate seeing
97 ahead.
By the way, do you know why they started doing runoffs in Georgia?
No, I don't know.
Originally, the reason they started doing runoff races in Georgia is because white politicians didn't want a black guy to because in a crowded primary they didn't want a black candidate to be able to swallow all the black vote and get the most by default kinda. So they made it where you have to get 50%. And it's actually been challenged several times. A long time ago, they tried to say, the runoff system is unconstitutional or whatever the challenges they brought forth, but it got shut down, and they still do it that way.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if the Republicans lose, fingers crossed, touch wood. Maybe if the Republicans lose, then they'll be like, let's get rid of the runoffs. Like, okay.
Whatever happens, we need serious reform with our
The
election.
Electoral College was their safety net. That didn't even fucking work for them. So, woo! John, yes, he spells his name correctly too.
Hey, there he is.
That is sexy enough.
Yeah.
I think all day.
Honest,
Jay!
Hello.
Oh, JD Con's here. Dude, you have a better setup than I do. Look at that back.
Wait. Hold on. Can we go back to full screen? I want to see what he's rocking. I gotta compete.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Also,
There's like
Jay-Con,
professional bullshit going on.
where do you make your videos? Because you look like you're just like in a lawn chair half the time. Like,
It's my back patio, yeah.
okay, you look so comfy. I'm like, man, this man just goes out there in the back patio and just like, let me get on my lawn chair and research some news and drop some knowledge right quick.
That's the way to do it.
Damn, look at that quality of video.
Oh, I like the light. Yeah, I like the light in the back. That's cool.
Yeah, he's got a
Thank you, guys.
Let me see. Different.
All right, cut him out. Like, he's making us all look bad. Hey, everybody, do you support all of us that aren't him and want us to have that same kind of background?
There we go. Okay.
A lot of us have our Venmo, our PayPals, all that shit in our bio. So just go load us up and I just try to show people I'm smart. Like, I'm smart.
Yeah.
Also, Michelle, I love the Star Wars shirt.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure I have Star Wars on in like half my videos. I don't think it's intentional. It kind of happens.
Fucking nerds.
Sorry.
Dude, if I wasn't a political TikToker, I would try to be Star Wars, like all the way. That's what I would try to be. But it's like, that is such a saturated market, and I would rather talk about things that really do matter in life, so I haven't moved towards that. There is a Star Wars.
Cam Higby has that market on lock.
Dude, there's 2 Star Wars creators that I really do like. It's Mesa Windu and Shaylo Red.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
I'm thinking of like Budget. I don't know his actual name. Budget Jason Statham and his brother. They both do a lot of Star Wars stuff. One's more political than the other, but they have really good content.
I follow them too. Yeah. My dream is to be mutuals with Mesa Windu, but to no avail. He's too big. I am mutuals with Shaylo though, and Shaylo is like super cool. I love her stuff.
Dude, when you just mentioned Cam Higby, weeks ago when like they were like, we're dismantling the conservative high house, I was like, no, you're not. It's literally Cam Higby. And as soon as like
it's been Cam Higby. I don't understand.
And he changed it to Cam Higby so he can have like the 1.5 million followers or whatever, because I think his main account has like 30,000, and which it was pretty much like the Cam Higby hype house anyway, but still.
Dude, he inherited 1.5 million followers. F that dude, man.
I can't.
I would fight him.
Okay, is anybody else getting some like Steve Warnicky like vibes down here? He's like crunching numbers and like talking shit off screen. He just needs a pair.
So here's a little bit of an update. According to the Times, Democrats are faring a hair better than expected in absentee vote, but the big question mark in the election is the election day voting. We are still very little. There's still very little of that in, and right now they have Warnock up by 1, and Ossoff plus 8%, and that's with 19% reporting.
Yeah, the overall right now, Warnock is still like about 90. Whoop, just updated again. He's about 80,000 ahead, and Ossoff is like 60, 70,000 ahead. So it's tightening back up.
The crazy thing is that, in a better world, and it just shows you how fucked our political system is. In a better world, this shouldn't even be close. I mean, Ossoff and Warnock aren't the best candidates. Ossoff is pretty decent on a mic, and so is they're good presenters, but Loeffler and Perdue are basically Scooby-Doo villains. Loeffler, uncharismatic politician.
He is literally a robot. I rewatched her debate last night, and I counted because I was just curious. 14 fucking times she repeated radical, liberal, Raphael.
Radical, liberal,
and I was like, and it's literally she repeated the same thing over and over and over again. She's literally trained to say this shit. I was like, she is not running on any platform besides
the radical
him in office. That was the
right. And Raphael Warnock is a preacher. He is the preacher at the church that Martin Luther King was a preacher at. He's a lifelong preacher, centrist, doesn't support defund the police, doesn't even support Medicare for all. By no metric is he radical.
Yeah, right.
Yet, they run like polls and like focus groups on this stuff. Like that's that's the strategy that Trump went with for Biden, who we all know is in no way a radical. in any way, shape, or form. But that strategy, as dumb as it is, actually, it worked. And even though Trump lost by 8 million votes, it was close in a lot of states.
Like I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they went to Georgia, and they kept interviewing all these Georgia voters who are, just huge Trump supporters, and they were asking, "Are you worried about the Democrats winning Georgia?" And they're like, "Yes, I don't want this to become a socialist country." And they literally use this terminology. I don't want to wait in line for hours to buy a loaf of bread, and I don't want to wait in a 5-mile line to buy gas. And they honestly are so, it's insane.
Yeah, I love it when they use the talking point like, "Oh, I'm glad we've had our run of socialism now." Like, hey, asshole, this all happened under crony capitalism. Like, stop telling me this is a dry run of socialism.
What I want to know, and this is a little off topic, is how does Kelly have that much money, but her hair does not match her extensions?
She is just...
Yeah, I could fix that for you, but you have to come out of the race. What's your vanity say?
I'm sorry to keep switching it, but I want to play this this clip of Kelly Loeffler. It just goes to the frigid argument. Like she's very much locked on. Oh, JD missed the best political.
I saw it.
ever.
I saw it live.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my. Yeah, I was.
Thanks for having me on my live, man. That was cool.
Yeah, of course, man. Like one of my points was like she kept saying, I worked in a restaurant, but these are the same people that will use AOC being a bartender against her, but then put that stuff in their own ads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, they see it works for her, and they're like, "Wait a minute."
Right.
Bro, she's also like a social media queen. All the Democrats were like pissed off about losing seats in the House, and they were blaming progressives for it. And she clapped back with, "That's funny. Maybe you guys should have run a digital campaign in the middle of a pandemic, because all 4 of us progressives did, and we kept our seats."
Well, every single person that ran for that was in the election in November that supported Medicare for all won. So I don't want to hear that dumb talking point. They always blame the left. Like the neoliberals always blame the left for everything. Doesn't matter.
I've gotten that beef on TikTok. There's liberals I have beef with.
Yeah, they just blame us for everything. But yeah,
continue to do that. But if we don't win on January 5th, our military will be
here, let me turn it up. Hold on.
And we're going to continue.
Oh yeah, it's
to do that. But if we don't win on January 5th, our military will be defunded and worse.
I won't belabor it, but that's not a yes or no whether you would sustain the veto or not.
That's right.
Okay, you're not answering that.
And we're going to continue.
This energy.
Like she straight up said, like, yeah, I'm not answering the question. I'm just gonna say defund the military, as if that actually fucking means
It's because
anything.
like whatever answer she gives, Trump is going to be, I guess, pissed regardless. And she's trying so hard to stay on everyone's side right now.
Well, she's trying to thread this weird needle.
Yeah.
Like the whole $2,000 checks thing. Like her and Purdue didn't support $2,000 checks. They actively pushed back against it. But now, because Trump came out for it and it's popular, because people are fucking struggling. Her and her Purdue are claiming they are for.
It's also politically safe because they knew ahead of time that Mitch McConnell was going to block it, so they can come out and say, I'm for it.
Yeah.
When they knew ahead of time that it wasn't going to get through anyway.
Yeah, they know it's not going anywhere, so why not look good?
Because
McConnell, he attached. Go ahead, somebody. No, but McConnell attached that internet reform bill. So yeah, it's a fucking, what do you call it? Dead on arrival. So that it was politically safe to
I don't think
it
he
now.
realizes that bill actually is protecting him at the moment.
He doesn't realize.
There's a lot more behind the bill. That's not just he can say whatever he wants and get away with it on Twitter, which he already does. It's just he doesn't want to be labeled. I'm like, okay.
On NBC, Purdue's catching up. It's 479,000 to 514,000 with 23% in, 51 to
Yeah, we've got
48.
26% on AP with Ossoff at 53.3 and Purdue at 46.7. So it's close a little bit, but he's still up.
AP at 578.
A lot of the polls were off, obviously, in the general election, but Georgia was actually the state that was the closest. And if the polls, if the polls are off the same amount in this election as they were in the general election, both Ossoff and Warnock will win. But you can't trust these. You can't trust the polls because the entire GOP is conspiratorial at this point. Yeah. They're all batshit, so they don't trust anything.
I was telling my roommate.
They think a lizard person's going to steal their soul.
This is my my deal with the polling. I went over this earlier today. The only reason that I'm holding any weight with the polling is because they're using the same metrics. They're using the same exact metrics. So they haven't changed anything, and the Democrats are climbing. That doesn't mean, right? That doesn't mean that the Democrats are going to win, but it definitely looks like there's sort of this. The Democrats are getting more energized as the Republicans are getting less energized, and it's right now kind of showing on the numbers coming back.
Good. I want to be one of the sources for any one of these polls that Trump seems to find all over the place, like where he has 97% approval ratings by certain.
Those are called partisan hacks. He only has access.
By the
to
way,
those.
real quick, Knucklehead Steve says, I love that I have a smart TV now. Was watching you amazing people for a bit. I'll come back in a bit. Fucking love you all.
Oh, that's
awesome.
Thank you.
He makes some of the funniest shit.
I cannot read someone type, like if someone puts in a comment section, get fucked. When I read it, I'm one of those people that hear the voice of the person that I relate it to. So I hear him go, get fucked. Every time I see that written anywhere, I just hear Steve's voice saying it. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Speaking of partisan hacks, though, I thought this clip was pretty funny while we're waiting on some results.
Sometimes Pete and I pretend to be friends on television, but we are friends sometimes off camera as well. We were having a steak last night talking about this, and this is how I feel. I think Americans, I think Republicans, conservatives can be forgiven for their skepticism, because whether or not an election was rigged, it certainly feels like society is rigged right now. From the complete squelching of dissent on college campuses, inside the media institutions, to being lied about the Hunter Biden story, to watching President Trump impeach, every step of the way watching President Trump undermine his legitimacy question, that when you deal with that for not just 4 years, but decades, you start to think, if not an election, the entire society is rigged against people who hold my values. And at some point, Steve Ainsley and Brian, you begin to understand that kind of skepticism.
Especially at the end when you're told, no, you can't question it. There will be no questioning at the end. The more you're told not to question, the more you're told not to challenge, the more people feel like, something's not right here.
And sometimes Pete and I pretend to be friends.
Yeah, you fucking people don't.
It is rigged against them. Like the system is rigged against fascists, 100%.
Thank God.
We are rigging it against you. We don't like you people.
That's one of my
I started burning so bad, and I was like allergic to Fox News.
Dude,
like
their whole thing right now.
I can't get enough of it, man.
The whole thing that they're doing right now, even on TikTok, is trying to push this narrative that they're being oppressed, and
oh yeah,
you don't know oppression. Straight white man, straight cisgender white man.
I can't remember which creator said it, and it's like it's not oppression. Just most people don't like you. Like,
dude, I posted that last night. Like this, I do not remember her name, but she's, one of the typical. And she was like, the most oppressed people right now are Christians and Trump supporters. I was like, no, oppressed does not equate hatred, but if it did, yeah, it's fucking true. But it's just
it was you then. I think it was you. I think
probably.
It was the video. Yeah.
I really
the video that I did to Austin, my pal Austin, or your pal, or whatever his name is. He does that. He had that song that I did the Boy George music video to. The opening line is, "You're not being bullied. You're picking a fight and losing that fight."
Yeah.
Like,
the ballots just came in.
Nail on the head.
Hey, JD, slide to your.
Oh my God, who's that on screen?
Slide to your left a little bit.
A whole bunch of ballots just came in.
You're right.
Like on my screen. Like on the YouTube channel, your face is blocked a little bit by my my branding logo in the corner.
1 second. All right, let me see if I can shimmy.
Just like like a
brand
just a little
comes
bit.
first.
Like this?
In the corner.
All right.
The brand comes
Yeah, that's
first.
better.
Okay.
That was my that might be why.
Yeah, there you go. That's good.
A whole bunch of ballots just dropped.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now.
All right, it's 26% on Warnock. Warnock's up 6%. If I had to put money on it, yeah. Oh no, well he's up. Yeah, about 6%.
I gotta be real with you. If I had to put money on it right now, it'd be the Democrats.
If I had to put money on it, I'd say it's a split. Warnock wins, Ossoff loses. But I mean,
they're not that far off. They're 6,000 votes off.
Yeah, well, between Warnock or Purdue and Ossoff, there's.
You know what I think is going to happen too with them both being at the same time. I think it would be harder for Ossoff on his own to appeal to the black vote as much. And, Warnock is deeply embedded in that community. I mean, he's the preacher where Martin Luther King used to be a preacher. And I think because they're kind of, it's a unit now. Like they're together. Like if you're going to vote for one, you're voting for the other. So I think that could pick him up a few votes.
Ossoff also has this Kennedy appeal.
Yeah.
And he's easy on the eye.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate from my followers going after Ossoff when he's in office, but he is a corporatist. He's about as corporate as it gets.
Yeah. No, he doesn't have the best policies. No.
Oh no, I agree, but I mean, it's like, do I want him or Purdue? You know what I
But
mean?
he's not a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I try to look at it from a team perspective. It's like, okay, well, you're a corporatist, but not all the Democrats are corporatists in Senate right now, so we could have a chance to fix things. So
what it is, Ossoff is that pesky kid. Those pesky kid.
He's only 33, man. He ran for office a few years ago, in Georgia for the Congress seat.
Is that Ben Shapiro in the bottom left corner? Please tell me no.
No.
I don't think so.
Where?
No, that guy, like he looks intense. To tell you the truth, but that's not Shapiro. I would love to debate Shapiro. I went in the middle after one sentence. I'm like, stop. Let's unpack that because you're gonna try to list off a whole bunch of shit, so I can't keep up. I'm gonna stop you right there, bud.
Thoughts on one of my regulars. Thoughts on the PA legislature BS today? I didn't see. Oh yeah, they wouldn't. The legislature in PA.
Oh, they wouldn't seat the new. Yeah, they wouldn't.
Democrat. Yeah.
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 I mean, it's just more horse shit. At this point, the GOP. I've been saying this on my last couple streams. Like, we have to just actively call out at every step the GOP for the fuckery that they are doing. We cannot. We don't push back enough. I mean, I think the left does, but we have to. I think we just have to. We have to be as loud as they are because, I mean, they're outright treasonous. They should have to fucking secede at this point because they don't want to be a part of this country or any of the fucking regulations that and rules that we hold dear. They literally cheat the system at every single turn, and somehow, like, we can't make none of it stick. In 2 days, it washes out. Like, they do some catastrophic thing that's never been done before, and in 3 days, like, everyone's like, well, you know.
Well, I have a question.
Every country's going to try to dominate them, like right away, and then they're going to have to turn to the U.S., the Union, to come save their ass, and then we're going to just take it over and be like, y'all don't get your seats anymore.
I think we just have to do a better job at educating people on how, like, there's a group of people that we're just never going to reach. But we just have to make them the extreme minority. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The black vote is up so far. Latino vote is down. The Asian vote is up.
Hey,
yeah.
Ossoff just flipped Washington County. I think that. Yeah.
I tell you, I want to see one turn blue.
Yeah.
I want to see a couple turn blue.
He won Washington last time, but not by very much. It's not a very big county. I mean, it's 95.
Where's Washington at?
It's a big.
Hold on, let me. Well, I got the county map on here. Let me pull it up. New York Times. Bam.
You know what the sad part is? I probably know other states' counties better than I know my own.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Washington.
Wait, wouldn't it be great? Like, I don't want Washington to ever go, Washington State to ever go blue, but I think it would be, or red, but I think it would be great to have it on the news so that these like major news network anchors have to try and pronounce like
Washington County, yeah.
Yeah, native.
Okay, see, when I moved up to Washington, people tried that shit with me, like, pronounce this, pronounce that, pronounce this, blah, 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 in Oregon and Washington, since I'm right on the border. I'm like, all right, bet. And I open up a map of Southern California. I'm like, do you speak Spanish? Let's start pronouncing some shit. 2 L's equals Y. Let's go.
Spell swim.
Smells equals
Warnock and Warnock is the one ahead in Washington County, or at least according to the Times. Right now, Purdue's, well, it's, yeah, they still got a ways to go. For some reason, I don't know, they have more votes counted for Warnock. Oh, that's Hancock.
We got 32% reporting. Ossoff's still going to be, Ossoff's doing all right.
Yeah, I'm
maintaining like about 40.
Where the hell did it go?
I think now we're probably getting into some bigger precincts.
Washington County, yeah. Warnock's up on Loeffler there.
I'm trying to
Yeah, there was just a new update from AP. It's now at 39%, and Ossoff just took another big lead. So now we're at 55-7 to 44-3.
That's
yeah, that's what I have.
There's still a lot to come in.
That's what we got here.
For everyone at home, you can you should be watching us on your computer if you want it to be like a lit party. That's what the kids say, right? Lit. Anyway,
it's lit.
And then you can follow, like, you just hit refresh at the top. And
so that's what they have us for.
Yeah, but I mean, we're the political commentary. I'm waiting for Tommy to do more of the like math and shit, so we can get the full Kornicki or however you say his name. Yeah, I did pronounce that.
Oh, Tommy
Green.
Kornicki, yeah.
Tommy, if I was you, I would have like come on the live with like a TV screen, like a touch screen behind you, and you in a suit, like that guy from CNN. And you're just like, all right, so if we zoom in here.
You know, he didn't sleep for like 3 days during the November election. That guy's a savage.
Kornicki, like the Gap sponsored him for khakis for like a year or whatever, and he's donating all the clothes that he's supposed to get from the Gap out to like charities.
Oh, awesome.
That guy is the man. But like during the general election, I kept saying, you know, you better watch out. Tommy's coming for that gig, because Tommy was like 2 steps ahead of him almost the entire time.
Yeah, Tommy, I don't know how you did it. Like, I was following you. Like, I would tune into your channel and see what you kept posting, and I felt like I was getting more up-to-date calls than CNN was.
Yeah, I was watching for the full CNN.
I don't know.
Are we looking at Fulton County at all? Somebody mentioned in the chat.
Don't play humble now, Tommy.
By the end of
Fulton County,
100% reporting, 69.76 to Ossoff. I don't know if we were looking at Fulton.
On here, it's got
I got 81% reporting, and that feels more right.
Fulton County says
dude, my dude, and the dude.
It doesn't say. Well, according to this, it's 71% Warnock, with 258,000 votes to 108,000.
We got another
for Ossoff.
John Ossoff over 55.5%. He's got a 10% lead, 11% lead on David, and Raphael has about like a 15% lead, roughly.
I'm just trying to figure out where the Republican votes are going to come from, because I mean, like, there's some bigger sized counties, but they may pick up like I don't know.
Well, it's going to have to be death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, you can see on here that it's basically, this is a blue area, blue over here, blue. That's basically these areas. That's it. And then everywhere else is red. So I mean, they're going to have to remember.
What I'm saying is, they're like, the Democrats are up. right? And the outstanding counties remaining for Republicans, there's not a lot of voters in them. So
Me too, Brian.
Yeah, they're gonna have to pick up votes in northern Georgia is where they're gonna have to pick up, and then they're just gonna have to, slowly, pick up 1,000 here, 2,000 here, 5,000 here. You know what I mean? That's the only way they win. And I mean, honestly, the numbers, the way they're looking, and according to a couple of these Washington Post or New York Times guys, that Democrats' enthusiasm seems to be on par with the general election. So I mean, if that happens, I think we're in good shape. Again, it's hard to put a number on how much Trump's fucking voter fraud issues.
Well, I have a weird thing to say. I think part of the reason we're seeing that is, in a weird way, we can thank Trump for it, because I think if Trump would have conceded right away and kind of given in to yep, we lost, there would have been more of a lackadaisical side on the left to be like, okay, well, we won. But see, this whole time, it's been a constant thing of we're still fighting these fuckers, and it's just we have to get out there and vote. That's just how I feel.
Yeah,
no, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I don't know if really
there would have been more emphasis on actually, winning the Senate as opposed to this whole fuckery game.
Mm-hmm.
Brian with 2 phones. Brian has 2 phones, everybody, just so you guys know. That's his legacy in my life. So he has 2 phones.
And obviously, in the past couple months, I guess Trump's been setting that precedent of, okay, well, this election, he's sending off those mixed signals of, okay, you need to go vote Republicans, and then, okay, Republicans, this election is rigged, so there's no point in voting. And I think a lot of his incredibly hardcore people, even if it's not a lot, they just took that to heart, and they are just not getting out to vote. I don't know, if that's a huge portion, but I feel like that at least encouraged some people to not even bother.
Well, I mean, in the exit poll,
you have cronies on stage we're gonna protest, and then the Proud Boys or whatever that are destroy the GOP. We're like, yes,
yes, exactly.
I got your back, guys. We got your back, man.
So this is kind of what I'm thinking right now. I don't know what the overall the voter depression from the general election towards the Republicans, but northern Georgia, southern Georgia, they seem to be dropping anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe sometimes 4% in terms of what they took based on what the Democrats took last time. So instead of 78, they'll be bringing in 75, right? Percentage points. But the crazy part is that, so while they're down in these areas, right, that are coming in pretty quick, it's going to be kind of interesting to watch. But while they're down in those areas, Democrats at this point in the night are up in Democratic areas compared to when they were in the general last time, where they are in Atlanta Metro. They're already bringing in 78% of the vote without touching mail-ins, right? Because they're gonna be counting for a while. Let's be real. Specifically with mail-ins, where they're bringing in 90%. So yeah, in Fulton County alone, where they're bringing in 90 and above. I don't know what just happened to our moderator. So at this point in the night, at the general election, there was a lot of question marks. Right now, Democrats are in a really good spot. If the Democrats stay on par with this, right? If they're just even neck and neck up until these Republican counties come in, I'm just gonna call it and go eat.
Yeah.
Wait, did the stream not cut off for you guys?
No, it did.
No.
Just for you.
Oh, okay. Y'all just smooth went right back into it. I was like, was that only me? What happened?
Yeah, that was you.
Okay. Yeah, no, it just cut off. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I just told you who was gonna win. Damn it, you missed it.
Damn it. Yeah. Well, I mean, if I missed it, y'all missed it because this is my fucking circus, I guess. I don't know.
Well, last time when you cut out, it was me and Tommy and Tori were left over. It stays open when it's not.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Her outfit was on point. Did you guys see her?
Who?
what's her name? Like the one that's talking to Sharpton. She's in this like teal turquoise.
Oh,
with, like,
yeah.
Point looking. Yes, all of that.
What I hope though is that if we do win this, is that and I say we, I'm not a Democrat, but just left leaning.
I think most of us are. I'm not a Democrat. I can't get behind that.
No, but what I mean to say is, like, if we win this, what I hope to see is that we don't fall asleep. And I feel like the Democrats do that a lot. It just historically, it's like, okay, we have the power now. We can just kind of fall asleep because the Republicans always surge with anger. Like they just.
I mean, if you look at just like the patterns online with like the fighting back and forth, like Democrats are like, oh, we did that. No, leftists did that. Y'all sat back and watched us do that, and you just followed us and liked all our shit to make sure it would move forward. Like you were not here screaming.
You already see it on TikTok. Tommy's already taled about it on TikTok. Like he's getting attacked from left people too, like liberals too, and it's just like.
Well, now that they're like, oh, we won. Now let's go after like the bigger guys that actually did all the fighting. Now they're like torn down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, no, absolutely not. My news right now is when people start trying to argue with me and shit in my comments. I did this a while ago, but I've been doing it a lot more lately. I just say no. Like I do like blah blah blah. Nope. That's all I said. Nope. I do it in my salon at work. People bring up shit that's wrong. No, that's not how that works. Nope. I don't give any like context explanation. Nothing. I just say no.
I don't get a lot of flack anymore. I get the main group of people that do try to come after me are libertarians, and I just hate libertarians.
Conservative lights. I hate conservatives. That's what they are.
With 42. With 42% reporting, Warnock and Ossoff have pulled ahead a little bit. But if we win, we can actually hold their feet to the fire. So that's the thing. If if the Republicans do happen to win, even though I've actually gone over a few times how we can use executive orders to get a lot of progressive stuff done. But Biden's not going to do that. He's not going to want to be that creative. He's going to take any excuse not to do a lot of, actually progressive things. But if we win the Senate, actually, then it's a lot easier to hold these people's feet to the fire. So we should actually be like doubling down and not, But the people that just want to go to brunch, they're going to go to brunch and they're going to, take it easy. But the people that actually care and actually want to get stuff done are going to, double down and actually try to get stuff done, hopefully. But this is what Biden had to say about if they won, if Warnock and Ossoff won.
One state can chart the course, not just for the next 4 years, but for the next generation. By electing John and the Reverend, you can make an immediate difference in your own lives, the lives of the people all across this country, because their election will put an end to the block in Washington on that $2,000 stimulus check. That money that will go out the door.
I mean, y'all heard him.
Help people who are in real trouble. Think about what it'll mean to your lives.
Ossoff and Warnock win, we get a $2,000 stimulus check.
Paying funds to your mortgage. Paying down the credit card.
And whatever he said there, I'm not sure what that was.
Electric bill.
Just
look around. Millions of people in this country out of work through no fault of their own. They're struggling.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is really good campaign rhetoric, but I mean, there's one of the things he said there that one thing that I think is the most important is that one fucking state. Sorry, I don't know if we can cuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
one
rip, JD.
One motherfucking state it like has this much power over the direction of which policies are going to be pushed through. What is the pushback from the minority party in the Senate? There is too much centralized power within both the Senate Majority Leader and also the states that sort of elect these people that then take those positions. So like that's the thing I take from that is that we can't have one state controlling so much stuff.
Yeah, no, it's totally broken. And what we really should be doing is looking for different creative ways to get policy done. Like there's a lot of things you can do with the Fed as far as funding. Like we've seen through this pandemic, if they want to get some stuff done and, you know, if the elites need it, like, you know, if the stock market crashed 10,000 points in a week and a half and damn, they hopped to it. You know, we got, you know, funding.
Like $1.5 trillion just pumped in for 15 minutes of holding the market, right?
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, they did that. And then on top of that, in the stimulus, the first stimulus bill, the way they worded it, it basically, everybody on Wall Street had access to basically unlimited, you know, $5 trillion slush fund. And all they had to do was call up the Fed and they were made whole immediately. While, you know, the people, the actual citizens got this means tested. You got to jump through all these hoops, horse shit. You know, the best parts about the stimulus were the PPE program and then what, you know, Wall Street got with the $5 trillion slush fund. And, you know, there's ways we could, you know, use that kind of legislation creatively to fund the things that we actually need. But, you know, that's we need different people in Washington for that. And yeah, no, it shows you how broken our system is. I totally agree with you. Just like, you know, before our whole strategy for the court was hope an 80 and 90-year-old woman doesn't die. Like the shit we end up resting on for strategy is always horrible.
Do you guys think that that's going to come back and bite us that enough right there? The Supreme Court situation?
Well, I do know that why am I brain farting? The guy that will be the absolute most powerful Democrat if we take the Senate in West Virginia. Why am I blanking on his name?
Joe Manchin?
Joe Manchin. He's already come out and said that he's going to be the one to block a lot of these policies that we're pushing forth. So
yeah, Joe Manchin's a Republican.
Absolutely. So like, I think even if we take the Senate and Kamala comes out and says, okay, obviously the Democrats now have majority, we're still at 4950 because Joe Manchin is going to block almost everything. He's already against Medicare for all. He's against the public option. You know, he's against a lot of these progressive policies. He doesn't want to stack the court.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
hey,
you know,
really quick, I'm gonna go grab some food. I'm gonna be doing an update probably at like 6:30. I'll be back online in a little bit though. As soon as I get food, I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day.
All right, all out.
All right, I'll be back on.
Bring me a sandwich. Shit.
All right, bye.
Yeah, I'm probably only going to be able to stay on for till about 9 o'clock my time because I have a lesson plan to write for the kids, and
those kids don't need no fucking lessons.
I'm super impressed. I'm super impressed that you are a teacher. Like you're super smart, and I watch your shit constantly. But I'm like, teacher? That's pretty cool.
Well, thanks. I'm a senior, so I'm in the internship portion, student teaching part. But it definitely throws a lot of people. One of the funniest things is the guy that I worked under last semester. And is everybody still there? It looks like everybody.
Yeah.
I'm here. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here, man.
Raging.
We're waiting on bated breath.
He still emails me. Like I am no longer interning under him, and his latest email was "Socialism is for dummies," and like tried to send me this article. I didn't read it, but he would try to tangle with me every morning about like, here's why I think you're stupid, and I'd be like, well, I got a lot of theory you can read, and you know, I just think he thought he was dealing with like a dumb 24-year-old, and I'm like, no, I do this for fun, so you know,
right,
yeah.
Speaking of updates, it looks like Warnock's. Oh well, it went off now. But Warnock, he pulled. Yeah, he's got a pretty sizable lead there.
Yeah, I think Warnock's got that.
I do too. I mean, because the early vote or the mail-in vote and stuff, that's going to get counted last, I believe. And I mean, if that's the case, I mean they're holding these leads, and unless I'm not correct about that. But I believe that's the case. Let's see if maybe we can get some volume here, see what they're talking about.
because again, this is undue influence to try to determine or try to make a state official lie and change the outcome of an election. That has got to have the.
That's the lady that Roseanne made fun of and lost her job, isn't it? Isn't that Valerie Jarrett?
I mean, I laughed certainly when it was just one vote over the needed votes, right? It was like, I just need one more, guys, just 11,780, because that's not suspicious. That nobody will ask any questions if you just have one more vote than necessary to win after we've certified
44% is in right now.
So let's put that aside for the moment because there's more drama.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong comment.
And that's coming tomorrow, January 6th. So
but
after
I happen to click on the answer. Wow, that's crafty.
We're going to have to look to the House of Representatives and the Senate because they're going to have a little bit of drama. So Representative Liz Cheney, the House Republican Conference Chair, she's actually come out with a 21-page memo condemning her colleagues' plan to object.
What
to
fucking world are we living in where Liz Cheney is the voice of reason?
The Dirty Baker's
Holy
dozen,
shit, man.
13 senators saying they will object, and also a number of House members. But you have the conference chair saying, quote, members are unavoidably asserting that Congress has the authority to overturn elections and overrule state and federal courts. Such objections set an exceptionally dangerous precedent. What do you think is going to happen when Pence comes to Congress tomorrow? I feel like I need to grab some popcorn.
Well, let's see if he truly acts as an American who believes in democracy.
See what's going on
because
Twitter.
I have to tell you, this is a dangerous move. We're right at the brink now. And so we have to make sure that the public understands that we want to ensure that the votes are protected, that our elections were secure, and that they know that by these challenges coming forward that will not stand. The Electoral College has spoken. The states
Michelle,
have
looks
spoken.
like you got a fan in the chat.
Have spoken.
I
And
do.
so
Who
at
is
the end of the day,
What's the young lady's name in the
there will be
group?
a President Joe Biden and a Vice President Kamala Harris. So tomorrow is going to be a historic day.
I'm like on my phone
but it
screen,
also
so
is a
everything
day
is so
that's gonna
insanely
define who we are
tiny.
as Americans.
Yeah.
And it's going to define where our democracy is going and who's on our side, who's on the side of democracy, and who is.
Okay.
And the fact that there are, I mean, not more, but the fact that there are so many people who are more pissed about a phone call being recorded than the content of the actual phone call. Like, there are so many people who are like trying to say, oh, you can't record a private phone call. But like, what was it? One was done in DC and one was done in Georgia. And like, they have, I don't remember what the law is, but it's something about as long as one person on the call is knowledgeable of the call being recorded, it's legal.
So like here in Washington, you have to get both parties permission. Washington State, you have to get both parties permission to record any conversation. But when you're in Georgia, it's a single party. It's a single party permission state when it comes to recording conversations. So if I were to call Tommy, I could record. If we were in Georgia, I could record that entire conversation and have it and use it however I please. But here in the state of Washington, if I call Tommy, then I can't. I have to ask him for his permission to record it and use it later.
Yeah, Arizona is a one-party consent state as well, and I've used that in the past.
I'm pretty sure that the Secretary of State wouldn't do it unless it was legal. You know what I mean? Like Trump's sue happy anyway, and he is suing him. But if it was definitely illegal, he'd sue him.
Well, there's also a. Sorry, go ahead, John.
So Trump apparently today bypassed the DOJ's process for selecting the new Attorney General for the U.S. Attorney General for the state of Georgia, and his own a loyalist.
Huh? In an interim position, right? To bypass the.
He bypassed the DOJ and put his own in there.
Yeah, well, he's supposed to get confirmed, but he'll be out in a month anyway. So,
you guys see this range on the screen here?
Yeah, there's a Trump rally going on. I want to see what let's see what's going on here.
Fuck Antifa! Fuck Antifa!
Of course.
Fuck Antifa!
I'm Antifa. I'm coming on. I'm going for the record.
Oh shit! Alex Jones is in the
Alex Jones.
We don't quietly take the scam and believe their BS. We've seen the evidence. the system.
This is DC right now.
He is holding himself up on that pedestal. That's the only thing keeping him from falling over.
He is a
What the hell
human
happened?
constipation.
I just got a news update saying that they're not charging any officers in the Jacob Blake shooting.
I saw that earlier.
Yeah, no, yeah. I made a video about that earlier. Yeah.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised? Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Is that Roger Stone?
Oh man! If a cockroach was a human being, it would be Roger Stone.
Is this a song? Oh my god! Do you hear the song?
What? Who is this singing?
I don't know, but she's bad.
Do you know who's friends with Roger Stone and like met him and everything? Cam Higbee.
Yeah, that's his idol.
Of course.
Oh God! When Cam made a video about me, I felt honored. Honestly, I was like, "Ah, thank you."
I'm like, first of all, watch your mouth.
I'm honestly surprised. Like, I'm a tiny creator, but like, I have gone on after like really big people, and I do not watch my mouth, and I say a lot of like,
I don't think you're a tiny creator though.
Well, like, I guess compared to like some of the people I've gone after who are like in the hundreds of thousands, and they're like me, like, I don't know. Like, I've gone after Tyler Bluntman a couple times, but I mean, his platform's so big.
Time out. I think we have a really good opportunity to get somebody in on this live. Anala.
Oh, I love Anala.
Yes.
Yeah, she can come in. Yeah, I actually invited her on. I forgot to. Well, not like this one, but I told her I wanted her to come on sometime. Yeah, tell her to DM me on Instagram.
Yes, bring Anala in. That woman can break down a map, dude, and like economics.
Let's see what this guy's got to say.
Now, our next speaker is one of the most fiery activists I've ever known. She's tireless.
Aaron Rupar is a good follow on Twitter, FYI.
She will do research.
Do we want to take a guess? Candace Owens and or Tommy Lauren?
She watches George Soros speeches for fun.
Oh God!
You know what happened when she looked one of those up? She found that he was talking about Chief Justice John Roberts like George Soros owned him. Lynn Wood retweeted it for her. She gets.
Are all these people have fucking wet brain, man? They can't talk.
Stops fighting. It
well, I love they're so against George Soros.
I am so proud and lucky. I'm gonna marry this woman. Her name's Jennifer Lawrence. She's not the liberal actress. She's the awesome Jennifer Lawrence.
I love Jennifer Lawrence.
Love
Don't you
dearly.
dare talk about my queen that way.
First of all,
our next speaker.
No, it's the racist J Law, not the good J Law.
Donald J. Trump doesn't need who owns them anymore. And Donald J. Trump doesn't need their money. Donald J. Trump doesn't need their influence. He stands on what's righteous and just. And the more righteous your fight, the more just your fight, the more terror and people are going to come against you. And that's how you know you're doing the right thing and you're on the right side of history. All of you are standing here today on the right side of history. We are the founding fathers of our time. We are standing up against the evil globalists such as George Soros, who thinks he owns our politicians, who thinks he owns Chief Justice
Why does she
John
sound like
Roberts
she's in
on the
pain?
Supreme Court.
Because
we don't need George Soros in our lives.
Okay.
Who was that?
They're trying to feel important. That's it. Like they just like
that was the
part of the fight.
That was the racist J Law, I guess. I don't know.
Fascists like to yell a lot. Let's recall that of every fascist speaker, there's always a lot of screaming and a lot of pounding on the podium. So that's pretty par for the course.
Loud equals smart.
They own you.
Apparently, that is Sarah's boyfriend's cousin's uncle, sister.
Yeah, that too.
We're almost at 50% in. 49% reporting. You got a decent lead there.
I don't think that conservatism is on the rise, fortunately. What I am concerned about, though, and this is why I've made a few videos up about it, libertarianism is a great way to sucker in like would-be leftists, or like, because they say things like, "Oh yeah, we believe in gay marriage," or "Oh yeah, we believe in like weed should be legal," and stuff like that. But then you get deep down into it, and you're like, "Oh, this is like fashy light." Like that's all it is. So,
and like,
well, the whole thing about libertarians is they're like, they don't want to pick sides, and then they spend all the time defending the right.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
decide.
Well, and it's
Just
like American.
compare
It's like,
what's going on, fucking admit it. Like,
and it's like American libertarians are not like legit
Sorry,
libertarians. Like actual libertarianism, it's not this American libertarianism. Like actual libertarians do not advocate for like borders between states and shit. And it seems like libertarianism in America, it's like that's all they advocate for. And
they're not anti-abortion usually. Yeah,
they want nothing.
They put their whole premise on Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, and the guy that plays Nick Offerman was like, I just came up with the most ridiculous character I possibly could when I played him. And like the guy who plays their like savior of a character on television.
Anala, message me on Instagram. Sorry. I forgot.
Where's Anala? I want Anala in. I love
Anala. Message me on Instagram so I can send you the link. She's in my live right now.
Anala, I messaged you. Join us.
I told
her to hear you, Jay.
Instagram.
She's New York Times is this only is at 49%. New York Times is a little further ahead. We'll jump
I'm
over
showing
to that.
51 on New York Times.
Yeah, AP is reporting 51.
Yeah, that's what New York Times is at.
That's good news, though. I mean, once you start getting over 50% and it stays this steady, I mean, it's starting to look pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, Ossoff and Purdue, like, they're sort of closing in a little bit. We're at like 53 to 47, and it was a little bit further out, but like it's pretty consistent. I mean, we're in the millions of votes counted now.
Right. We're at what 52%.
He doesn't have over a million.
Right. With 52% in, the New York Times has Warnock plus 1.1, and then Ossoff 0.6. That's as far as like tilting in their favor. And let's see what else we got here. Warnock versus win probability. Right now they have their win probability. Warnock 63%. Margin estimated 1.1. Let's see what the win probability is for Ossoff. Ossoff's win probability, he's 56%. So I mean, we're like halfway over to toss up. We're like leaning in there. So I mean, that's pretty good as far in as we are.
So speaking as a Michigan Wolverine and a Detroit Lions fan, I don't pay attention to probability of winning anymore. Because if you are a Michigan Wolverine fan, we are almost always predicted to win. And then we lose. And if you're a Lions fan, you know the ESPN percentage to win on Gamecast or whatever. By the third quarter, you're like, oh, dude, the Lions got it in the bag. But if we're up by 30, we're still going to lose. So that's why I'm like, still cautious.
I don't want to hear your boo-hooing until you look at this. Okay?
Who's
Nobody,
oh, no.
you are not going to boo-hoo me on your Lions.
No.
That's rough.
You guys,
yes.
Oh, we lost
I didn't
Michelle.
see it.
I'm sure.
Where did we just lose one?
I'm a Steelers fan, man. Like we got to 6 rings first. We're working on our 7th right now.
I don't want to hear it.
I'll tell you guys, Steeler Nation.
Oh God, Steelers fans, you guys are
have you guys seen the new show on Hulu called The Great North? Nick Offerman, The Great North. I guess like the mom went off to go steal stuff in Pennsylvania. A blog about it called the.
Somebody's crinkling a lot. Who it is?
Oh no, Michelle had to like get back on.
Sorry, I accidentally.
No, you're good.
They're doing their live debate right now.
I follow this guy called Quentin Quarantino, and he just posted, "Guys, don't say anything, but it looks like our election rigging might be working in the Senate race too."
This time,
it's great.
We got to work on a few kinks. Change out a few parts in the Dominion machine. Have you guys seen that? Like, guy that does a dub over when your parents are asking you about Netflix on the TV. And they're doing the conversation about the parts in the Dominion machine from the phone call. Oh my god! Did you guys listen to the full phone call?
Yeah.
I didn't
all that she did. I was like, I gotta try this out. I listened to it while I was doing some work, and it was like my phone was behind me, and every few minutes I'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with him?" Back to what I was doing. I'm like,
I watched it on Laura Dell's channel when she was doing the whole stream, when she streamed the whole video.
That's Bella Crony for everyone.
Yeah, I went over the whole thing on my stream. It was pretty fucking rough.
Yeah.
We made a meme out of talking about how many times he said Brad. Like, he's like, Brad, come on, Brad, don't fuck me on this, Brad.
Well, they and then 3-1. He's like, but we did a couple hand recounts, so
they got Warnock's win probability right now is 63%.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Sorry, just
Ossoff is still up over 110,000 votes, which is nice.
Well, Ossoff's win probability is 55% right now. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not so concerned about the Warnock race. I'm pretty sure he's got that in the bag. But Ossoff is the one, and he might be able to make up them 80,000 votes. He's got to make up like 80,000 votes.
Kelly finally got over 1 million votes.
Yeah.
Stupid bitch.
I hate Loeffler.
Let's see. Okay, we got a map up here.
But see, the Warnock-Loeffler matchup was not one that I was ever really concerned about because I don't see how Loeffler has a chance. It's more about Ossoff.
Yeah, Ossoff's the one.
Yeah, I mean, Ossoff or Purdue is, between the two of them, Purdue's the only one that was actually elected, right? So, you know, just very much like she's from my state. I don't know why I'm blanking on this. McSally? No.
Have you checked your Instagram?
Cinema?
No, the Republican
Martha McSally?
Yeah, McSally. Yeah, she wasn't elected either, and
no, she was appointed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
terrible too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, have you checked your Instagram?
Yeah, she didn't send me anything. I just looked at it.
I know you're watching.
Nala, you can hear us somewhere.
She might be in my live. Hold on, let me look.
She's in somebody's live.
She was in my live, and I told her to
messaged me like 2 seconds ago. I know you guys don't want to be important, but I mean, I'm here, so let's chill. Just know your place. Right, just know your place.
Oh, dude, I'm the smallest creator here. No worries.
I'm just kidding. I have 65.6 in, and I still feel small. I'm always going to feel small.
I will never feel big. Yeah.
She told me. Yeah, she's in my DMs. She's living in my DMs every day.
She's in my DMs. That's my favorite thing to say to guys who are going after a girl I'm talking to. Like, oh, dude, she's in my DMs.
She messaged you her real name, but don't say it on here.
Okay. I just, it's just so I can send her the link. I mean, you know what I mean? That's all I need her to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so she messaged you. Check your DMs.
She didn't.
Does anybody else's sound really, really, really bad? Or is that just like me coming back in?
I think it's you come back in. I mean, I don't know. I can hear you just fine. You sound
well, like
perfect.
everybody sounds really, really weird. Like they're using a Darth Vader mask to talk.
That's bad.
It is, but like I can't understand what anyone's saying. It's
yeah, no,
like,
I can hear everybody fine.
Oh my god.
It was me earlier. It's your connection problem.
Is it gonna be annoying if I like leave and come back?
No, go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
Exit off then.
Don't leave without taking the trophy.
Okay,
All
nerd.
right.
Calm down.
Bam.
Oh, I'm a huge nerd. Like, that's what's so funny, too. Like,
I call my followers fucking nerds.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what Chuck Roach has to say. He's based.
This thing's going to tie
I actually
up.
worked with this guy.
On the margins again. That's why, to your point, Zerlina, the grassroots organizing, the one-on-one contact, me talking to somebody having a conversation, and then long-term planning.
Oh, we got Tommy, but no
Can your
thing.
mama come over and watch your baby tonight while you go vote and take your husband and maybe your grandmother? Like, we've been having these conversations to make sure we can get that turnout up as high as we could. But Georgia
That
is
guy's a
changing,
Democrat?
and it's changing before our
Yeah,
very
it's Chuck
eyes. No
Rocha.
matter what
He's
happens tonight,
Bernie's
you will see
Latino
Georgia
outreach
change
guy.
before all the other Southern
He's the
states
reason
because it's
Bernie
not
got
just
so
black
many
and white.
Latino votes.
Now you see a lot more young. Black people coming of age. That's a given in lots of southern states, but you add in the Latino population, and what's not talked about very much is this big booming AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islander population that's also booming in the state. You're seeing a real coalition.
Chuck knows his shit when he's about to get out the vote.
You have grassroots organizers now that are trying to bring those folks into the party.
This fucking guy wearing a bow tie,
point, Zerlina,
trying to be Tucker Carlson and shit.
God damn it. Also, why does Cam Higby wear a suit?
Absolutely. I mean,
in,
the
like, half his
coalitions
videos?
that the Democrats are
Who
showing
knows,
that
man?
they
It's
can
like a
build,
incel thing to
nationwide,
do.
using Georgia
Yeah.
as the example, I think would be a template for the future. In fact, I wrote an entire book about this exact thing. I didn't realize though, Chuck. I mean, I don't mean to pat myself on the back. I did not realize that some of the things I was talking about, and I did a whole analysis of Stacey Abrams' race in the gubernatorial race in 2018. I didn't realize it was happened so quickly. I thought it would take a few more cycles to see what we're seeing in Georgia, but you know, I was right quicker. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
It helps.
I'm fine.
It helps when you spend a lot of money.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It helps when you spend a lot of money.
Absolutely.
There's been $500
Money on organizers and not.
That's right.
$500 million
organizers
spent on
and
this
not
race.
commercials. Stephen, is there?
Guess how much was spent on the entire Canadian presidential election or prime minister election?
I have no idea.
29 million.
Is there anything you have seen on the ground today that you
We
believe
spent
might
500
impact
million
the
on one
results?
state. It's
Obviously,
fucking
we've been
serious.
watching the lines or
Good
the
old
lack of
Citizens
lines in
United.
certain, precincts all day long. Some precincts are staying open just a little bit later. We saw them stay open about 30 minutes.
There we go. Okay.
Later, and folks were still on the line past 7 p.m.
All right,
Is there
tell
anything
Anala
you've
I'm
seen
sending her the
that
link.
makes you lean one way or the other in terms of what we will
I'm
expect
guessing.
in the result tonight?
56% on AP, and it is tightening up with Ossoff and Purdue. Ossoff's only up by 3.6 now.
Are the Democratic-leaning communities. Places were underperforming were the Republican-leaning communities. So going into that, Republicans needed to have a great election day turnout, not just in having more Republicans of the electorate, but they needed a big gangbusters numbers to be able to eat into the Democrats' absentee by mail and early voting advantage. And we just haven't seen that so far. It's hard to tell because there's no way to know until every single election day vote is counted. But we just didn't see the big pushes across the board, across the state in Republican areas. So I think it's still going to be close. But I think that right now, it's just going to come down to how many Democrats showed up and how many Republicans didn't.
Fucking hot take there.
That's a good point, Chuck. Last question
homie.
here in the last minute we have.
Hot take.
According to our exit polling, turnout among those 45 and older is up from November. During the
That's like a
presidential
John
race, we
Penn
talked
football
a ton
take. Well,
about
come down to
voter
whoever
turnout
votes for the
and
most
the need
person
to
wins.
turn out young people.
another
What do you
take.
think the
Fucking
disconnect
Ron
was?
Burgundy take.
Do you think that we did, as organizers, they did enough to message
I
to
couldn't
those
hear you,
voters,
John.
to turn them out, or is there still work to do?
Purdue?
And what does that work look like?
It's closing in on.
There's fatigue there. I think they've gotten so many of these nasty commercials.
Yeah, we're at
and I think they've just been
58% now.
bombarded by those TV commercials.
There is
that you're
a
just starting to see the effect. of it.
1%
There's one thing that is very
difference
true
now.
tonight,
1
and
point.
that is you have a dramatic difference in an election.
1%
where Donald
difference
Trump
between
is
what?
not on
Sorry, I
the top
can't
of
Between
the
Ossoff
That's
and
gonna, I think, be
49.3
the lesson tonight.
49.3 to
Republicans are gonna
50.7.
learn They've got a lot of work to do when Donald
The
Trump
Times
is not on
has
the ticket because the
has it
electorate
at
acts a lot
59%.
different,
It
especially
says
Republicans and who's
the
turning
win probability is still 55. So
Stephen,
Okay.
I suppose we have 30 more seconds, so I'm going to squeeze in one more
it's
question.
crazy how there's so
I
many
mentioned
different
this earlier this
avenues you
hour,
can go
but nearly
to.
3/4 of Georgia voters
Or-
told us they believe
But
vote
they're all like
counting
a
in the
little bit
runoffs
different.
will be conducted fairly. Are you hearing that on the ground, or is the "it's rigged" narrative from the Trump team? Is
Yes,
that
it's all
permeating
rigged.
into the minds of voters that you're talking to in Georgia?
Send your vote back, Republicans.
Well, honestly, 75% feels like a relief to me at this point, just given how much distrust there is of the system pushed by the president and Republicans. And we did talk to some people that reluctantly cast their ballots on voting machines today, but it just makes me wonder how many more just stayed home.
Dave, you're talking down on a girl that got a lot of style. That's called a nuance.
Thank you,
bro.
Stephen Fowler and Chuck
That's
Rocha,
what
for
made
being
me-
here, for both of your insights. We're going to keep an eye on all these results as they come in. That does it for me. I'm Zerlina Maxwell. Joshua Johnson is picking up Peacock's live coverage of the Georgia runoffs right now.
So Trump is on his misinformation horse. So the Trump campaign spreading disinformation in a text to supporters. It is true that the voting machines stopped working earlier in Georgia today. Are Dems trying to steal this election? Question mark. You know.
Prove it. Prove it.
What a whiny bitch.
Pretty much.
Tommy unfiltered.
Jesus Christ. He just is. Like, and when he's not president anymore, he's just gonna be that fucking loser. Like, you know? Like they're gonna be like, oh, Trump did it. Well, no, we don't care. We're gonna get Kardashian.
I want them to keep him on Twitter for at least 2 weeks after the 20th. You know what I mean? Like, not long enough that he can rally his base to go for 2024, which I honestly don't think he'll put himself in risking losing.
I don't think he's going to stay. I don't think he's going to stay.
Let's go. Let's check in on the Fash Bash.
Fash Bash?
The Fash Party 2020. 2021.
Oh, Fox News?
No, whatever. This fucking rally.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is this Linwood?
No, that's just some dude.
Is up to the task of not wearing a mask.
Oh, Jesus.
So what I'm asking you to do right now is to do the great
Oh.
reset in a good way. Okay, we're gonna
Yay, Nala!
Last night, about 150 of us
Yeah.
went into Whole Foods,
Yeah.
and we dressed up like people that aren't
Where's
idiots,
that pretty
hiding
face?
from a virus that's not deadly. We did not wear a mask. Who here is up to the task of not wearing a mask?
Okay, I'm gonna go to the computer. Let me see if
I
can
ask
do
you
it.
again, who here is
Okay.
up to the task
Yeah,
of
it'd be
not
better on the
wearing
computer.
a mask? Jesus is king, and it's time to let freedom ring, ladies and gentlemen.
Fucking Dr. Seuss
Jesus
of
is
fascism
king,
here.
and it's time to let freedom ring.
Freedom. You know, freedom means you
We
don't
have
have to give a shit about
So
your.
what I'm asking you to do right now is to do the great reset in a good way. Okay,
Oh,
we're
God.
gonna reframe it. Last night, about 150 of us went into Whole Foods,
Good job.
and we dressed up like people
Great
that aren't
coverage.
idiots,
Professional
hiding
work.
from a virus that's not deadly.
Oh, that means
We
something
did
else.
not wear a mask. Who here is up to the task of not wearing a mask?
Goddamn, we lost everybody.
Okay,
I
I'm
ask
back.
you again, who here is up to
Yes,
the
yes.
task of not wearing a mask?
She's all by herself over there.
Jesus is king, and it's time to let freedom ring, ladies and gentlemen.
If I have to hear a conservative say
Jesus
king
is
one more
king,
time.
and it's time to let freedom ring. We have
I'm sorry. These people.
So what I'm asking you to do right now
Okay,
is to
let's
do.
see what else he's got to say.
We just need to put these fucking people in prison.
Who
Like,
knows that?
in
Sequoia's.
prison. We should
Dude,
allow people to sue them.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
right
the,
there with you, Tommy, but I can't believe that.
That's the conclusion I came to on my live last night. It's just like, these people just need to be in jail. Like, they're not fit for political discourse. Like, I don't want to sound like, you know, the crazy socialist that wants to lock everybody up. But
I'll do it for you.
People have had
I'll
a wild number of chances. Like, I've given you, like, to the count of 10, a lot. By the way, stream, welcome Anala. Anala, this is her first time on the stream. Everybody say hi.
Hello.
Every single one of you say hi right now immediately. Thank you for joining us, by the way. I really like your content. Very good. Especially the video the other day when you where you showed off your Tesla. That was good. I really liked that. That's what I always do when they
That's like the one video she did with Make, and everyone's like, "I love that you did that." And she's like, "Oh."
Well, we always love it when you twist the knife in on them, because I always show off my truck when one of them's like, "Oh, you're in your fucking basement," blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So that's my move too. I don't do it too often though.
I sold my truck.
All right, well, let's see what's going on Fact Fest here.
Also, I hate to say hi and run, but I've got like dinner and kids stuff tonight, so
Hey, I also got to go. So
I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me on though. It was
no
really
problem.
fun.
Yeah.
JD, I'll hit you up soon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I got to go too. I got to write lesson stuff, but as always, it's great to be here. It's great to be on a stream with some of my favorite people that I follow. And I just gush over you guys all the time because I'm always like, oh my God, they're famous.
Wu-Tang is for the children. Wu-Tang is for
I'm not
children.
famous. I burned a Hot Pocket the other day, so we're all human.
That's not my croissant.
That's skill.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
You guys.
Y'all. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Anala, I can't hear you that well. It's really, really low.
Yeah. Well, let's check your. Anala, see the little cog wheel? Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. I can't. Yeah, I can't hear you. There's a little cog wheel on the bottom of the thing.
The settings
click
button.
that. Go to advanced settings, and just make sure the first two boxes are checked. That'll help the sound a little bit.
Okay, they're both checked. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're just super low. Let's see if we can.
Do you have a mic volume control on your computer?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Is she froze?
No, she's not froze. Like I just barely like hear you.
Is that any better?
It's a little. Yeah, I just can't hear you. Can you guys hear her?
Like barely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like your sound's barely coming on the thing too.
That's never a problem I have in my life that people cannot hear me.
I can't. Damn it. Shit. I'm trying to think here. Maybe try without headphones. I don't know. Maybe.
Are you on a Mac or are you on a PC?
I'm on a PC.
You should have a volume control on your mic down in your your control panel thing. I haven't used a PC in years, but they have a.
Yeah, right, like right-hand corner. There should be a little microphone-looking thing you can click on, and it'll pop up a window.
Not to distract from that, we just had an update.
Now go ahead.
And,
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna get off of this now. That's enough of that fascist fuckery.
John Ossoff is only like 0.2.
Yeah.
Ahead.
Oh no.
And then Loeffler closed in is only like 1%.
Oh no. That's not good. Shit.
Hear me out.
Blue counties are.
I was actually looking over the numbers. I want to make this because what's going to be really important right now is the remainder of the Republican counties that come in. Because the reality is there's still a lot of votes out in Atlanta Metro. I'm talking 500,000 Democrat plus.
Yeah.
That's just in Atlanta Metro. That's not anywhere else. Those are net votes of at least 500,000. So it's going to be important that if the Republicans really stay at the rate that they've been coming in at, I think the Democrats are going to take it, but it's just a little bit too early to see.
Yeah. So this might be a dumb question, but like how we saw in November, where at the very end, obviously the mail-in ballots are starting to get counted way more, and then so the Democrats, obviously shot up. Like, at what percentage do you think, Tommy? Because you usually know what you're talking about with this stuff. Like, with what percentage we get into, will the mail-in ballots probably start to swarm in, or do you have any idea?
I think they've put mail-in ballots out in some counties, not others, though. I don't know exactly. Maybe Tommy. Yeah.
I think so. I don't know the exact percentages. They
My
release them
volume
in
just, like,
ballot
completely
blocks.
froze. Okay, this is not good.
Did that work?
And she's gone.
Dang it! For her to come back before I answer.
Left and right. Real quick, the New York Times, this guy Trip Gabriel, he says watch northern Fulton and DeKalb counties and eastern Cobb County. He said that's the places to watch right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's all right here, basically. That's all in this Atlanta area.
Yeah, that's the thing. So the Republican
on screen. There we go.
I was talking about this on live, like when I had you guys muted for a second because people were begging me. The general idea is you have smaller precincts come in these rural areas. In the Democratic areas, the votes that you're having coming in are the early votes, the votes that have already been cast, they've been counting throughout the day. And so what happens is when you get into the ballots that, Atlanta and DeKalb.
Yeah.
Ah, cool. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt.
No, you're
Keep going.
good.
Oh, also,
Alright.
sorry, I missed that because I was getting a call and it literally cut out my stream. So I'm sorry. That's really annoying.
Just run it back.
So what was the question again? I didn't answer it specifically
Okay.
because I
Well,
wanted
I mean, it might kind of be a stupid question, just because like I'm not super informed on how the voting process works on this side. But like, is there like a certain percentage that the votes will get to where it's going to be mainly mail-in ballots getting counted? If that makes sense, because like you know how like in November, like the end, it was mainly mail-in ballots that were
right.
getting reported.
So basically, what happens is, I know you guys, I started on this, but I feel like it's a good entrance way. So basically, what happens is the smaller counties have a less population. They have more poll workers based on the amount of ballots they actually have to process. So they're able to get in Republican areas where it's heavily Republican. They're able to get those ballots sent in earlier, right? And ballot drop. That's why you always see like Democratic areas coming in last, and so these smaller areas are able to get it in. That's a lot of the Republican area that we're seeing, right? What's going to come in next, and in the Democratic area, the early vote that they're having coming in is what's being counted, the stuff counting throughout the day. What's going to come in next is going to be the medium-sized precincts, right? Out of these Republican areas, the big precincts where they take more time, but they're predominantly Republican. So what happens next is going to tell us a lot, because it's going to be the vast majority of the Republican vote. So if these counties come back and the Republicans lost support, like all the other counties appear to have, it's over for them. You have 500,000 ballots out that are Democratic plus ballots in just the Atlanta metro area and 3 of the counties that I looked at. So the biggest question is going to be how many ballots are outstanding for Republicans in these medium-sized ballots, and then we're going to have a pretty good idea of how many ballots are left out in Democratic areas. So when everything goes red, when you watch the whole map go red and they're 99% in, which will be by the end of the night, whatever's left out in DeKalb, we can pretty well assume that that's going to be mail-in, that they're still processing.
Gotcha.
Right now, Ossoff is up by 1,000 votes, and Warnock is up by 27,000. So it's getting close. So I mean, Anali, you were telling me something in my live about ballots in Fulton County, or do you know how exactly they're doing the mail-in ballots? Are they counting those all last, or the early ballots? I mean.
So I was watching TYT on their live coverage, and they seemed like they couldn't find anything that was saying how the ballots were coming in. But I think that the county that I was talking to you about, which one did I mention? Which one did I mention to you? Fulton.
I think it was.
I think that they were reporting that the Fulton County numbers that were coming were absentee ballots. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what they were reporting. Which is not as favorable that I wanted to hear.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, see, I don't know exactly, and there's not really any information that I've seen exactly how they're counting the ballots, and that's kind of the whole ball game.
It's making for tonight really interesting, I feel like, because I was waiting for that red mirage to come in that's clearly not happening, which makes me think that they have lost support in the Republican base. But now that it's starting to dwindle down and closen up, everyone's curiosity is peaked of well, how are the votes coming in? And I don't think we'll know that at all. I think we're just going to continue to see them pouring in without that answer all night.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I from what I've seen from the New York Times, they seem to say that the Democrats, a lot of their strongholds are on par with the general election. I know DeKalb County actually had more votes in this election than they did in the general election. So, I mean, that's a good sign. It's really going to come down to if the Republicans got enough support in northern Georgia.
So,
because that's where all the big red counties are.
Sorry, I missed that part you guys were talking about. Fulton County, the remainder, the ballot composition outstanding, was that absentee?
Yeah.
No, that is saying what came in was absentee.
Yeah.
Oh, what they
see?
Yeah, no, that's probably early. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's a huge deal. I mean, obviously, we're probably not going to know the composition for a while, but I would suspect that the remaining outstanding is probably early votes. I can go check the early voting thing. I think I'll do that, and then I'll let you guys know. I'm going to do a whole update thing at 6:30 for my live since I promised them. So I'm not on live right now. I'm going to go when I go on live. Yeah.
Oh shit.
6,000 votes between OSOP and.
Let's see what they're saying on NBC. Oh, they're on commercial right now. But yeah, yeah, it's fucking close, man. I mean, you can see it right there. Well, it's 64% in. I mean, you're getting into the territory where normally you'd be calling the race, but I mean, it's going to be tight. You can see that clearly, and I just don't see much vote splitting happening. But I mean, I think if anything, Warnock's going to get more votes than Ossoff, if I had to guess. And I just, God, they're the worst candidates in the fucking entire. I mean, as far as like lack of charisma, just everything. The fact that they're basically just cartoon characters, Scooby-Doo villains, with how horrible of people they are, but they can still win the race and therefore control the Senate. Oh, here they go. They're back.
That Billy guy in that shot.
Fuck, is he at a cockfight? What's going on?
You've been working hard on turning out black voters this time around. What's your sense of African-American voter turnout and turnout for voters of color in the state of Georgia, not just in the Atlanta metro area, but Macon, Columbus, Savannah, and elsewhere?
Yeah, it's elevated. I think
that's
that the thing that has been very clear to me throughout this process, throughout the 9 weeks of the runoff, is that as
that's
Georgia,
the new Georgia Project lady,
and becomes America's newest battleground
that's
state.
the Stacey Abrams
that the
thing.
Black Belt counties are battleground counties in this new battleground state. All of the early voting and in-person early voting and the vote by mail numbers all indicated that we had surpassed historic levels of participation for Black voters and voters of color, but also young voters. When I look at the 123,000
according to, I guess this person said that the Marcus, whatever his last name is, said on TikTok that more than half the mail-in votes or mail-in ballots are already counted. So that's that doesn't bode well, I don't think.
And so I think that the energy is high, the commitment to vote is high, I think the resolve is high, and we are going to see that played out again with vote by mail, in-person early voting, and on voting from today.
Greg, what is your sense? And I know that it looks like you're at a campaign event. It's real loud where you are, but we're trying to zero in on you and hear you as best as we can. What is your sense of how race has factored into the campaigns and the turnout in different parts of the state? As we just showed from our exit poll, about 62% of voters in Georgia who responded to the NBC News exit poll identified as white, 29% identified as Black. Depending on where you are in the state of Georgia, obviously, there are some cities in the state of Georgia that are 50% Black, 60% Black, some counties which are overwhelmingly predominantly Black. So, Greg,
the New York Times has Raphael Warnock's win percentage at 72%.
That's a really good question.
Like it's not even a toss-up anymore. They have it as leaning. And they have Ossoff at a 62% win percentage. So I mean, he's almost in leaning right now too. So I mean, that bodes well. I'm trying to see it. I don't see too many updates on Twitter. Like you think there'd be more going on. Except for the latest conspiracy theories that are going on, which are pretty damn interesting.
And say, what about?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the early vote
strategy
must have been
as you
mixed
have
in.
Seen it in terms of this being a referendum on President Trump, in terms of how effective that may have been to keep turnout high among Republican voters. As I look at the statewide numbers at the moment, the latest batch of votes that we have gotten have put Senator Perdue just barely over Jon Ossoff by about 17,000 votes. The Reverend Raphael Warnock remains ahead of Senator Kelly Loeffler by almost 8,900, but again, it's super easy. But, and say, what's your sense of that, of the nature of the Republican vote and whether it was a referendum on President Trump?
I will say this, that they had not abandoned the Trump as our president strategy, that, you know, we saw the president come to Georgia several times. I think the idea that, you know, this sort of misinformation and disinformation campaign that they continue to traffic in, the idea that the November elections were stolen and that there's some huge margin of Republican votes. I don't think that was a winning strategy for them, but that remains to be seen. I think that, you know, it was super clear that Senators Loeffler and Perdue wrapped both arms around the president and did not allow for any daylight.
All right, that's
I
enough
think
of
that
that.
there are some who thought that they would try to distance
All right, but yeah, I think that I think that bodes well for us. The God damn it! Hold on, I still got the volume up there. Shut the fuck up.
Rookie.
Let's see. Should we take some questions?
Can you hit back at the map real quick and check the
Yeah.
mail?
Okay. There we go.
To see where that might give people some decent
So, I'm going over the thing. Honestly, I mean, kind of looking at it right now with the amount of votes still out. I mean, Floyd County's kind of a big one that looks like the Republicans, based on the general election and what's at 100%, they may have. I mean, they could potentially have 600,000 votes out. In terms of net actual ones that they're going to get, maybe 100,000 net. Maybe 100,000 actual net votes for them, maybe 150. And there's a shit ton out in Atlanta right now. I know somebody said that half the votes in Atlanta had been counted. I think they're going off the GitHub's early vote stats. It could be that the Georgia actually counted those votes, and you know all the actual votes that they have still left to count. But the reality is a 43% turnout rate when the numbers are showing that the early voting was up just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So my thoughts are a lot of states got so swamped they gave up on even counting them in. They just literally delivered them and counted them. Anything the last couple of days they might not have included in the early vote total. So as far as half the votes not being in Fulton County, I find it unlikely. It's possible, but to have 30% less voters out of Fulton and Atlanta Metro just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think there's probably more votes there. I mean, honestly,
well, right now, Atlanta. This is what it
probably
shows.
in the 70s.
Oh, I thought you cut out there. I wasn't looking at the. You don't. Okay.
Yeah.
But in Atlanta, this is what it shows as far as this is estimated votes remaining. This is votes counted. In Atlanta, it only has Warnock with 14,000 and Loeffler with 4,000, and it shows. This is estimated, so it's a rough. It still shows 42,000 for Warnock, and roughly 16,000 for Loeffler. You got another 18,000 in Clayton County, another 45,000 in Fulton County. Like, there's a lot of votes just in this little area. Another 7,000 in Clark County. So it just depends if they can. And you can see so much of the red down here is already gone. Like this area is pretty much in, I guess. You know what I mean?
Saying DeKalb County apparently had more turnout today than on election day, or that's what the news is saying.
Right. So
Yeah.
I was just eyeballing it, but it appears that the Republicans maybe have 150, maybe 200,000 when you add up all the small counties in terms of what's actually going to get them like net positive votes for Republicans in those counties. And then if you go to the Democratic counties, I mean, just based off what's left, just in Atlanta Metro, there's at least 300,000 or more. I don't want to speak too soon. I think this is probably going to be a lot closer than I think it is. But voting, I mean, all the signs are pointing towards both winning. Voting's down in.
I don't see this Cherokee.
Voting is down
Yeah,
all over the state, and
to
it's up in
go-
Democratic state.
Yeah, I mean, to go into some more good news on the voting being down, Washington County, which is in rural Georgia, it's 100%. It looks to be about 100% reporting, and that's one of the counties that Warnock pulled off in November, but Purdue beat Ossoff in, and it's down 10% votes from November, and Ossoff's going to win it. Ossoff and Warnock will both win that district. So,
Right, yeah, that's
I mean,
a good-
that's what you're kind of hoping for across the board, that there's like, I had a video in my drafts that I never posted, but there was about 9 counties or so that Warnock pulled ahead in November and Ossoff just couldn't, and that was one of them. So those are the counties I was hoping to see a lower voter turnout, only because of that like Collins guy that had also run and was kind of taking some stuff away from Loeffler, but hopefully that continues across the board.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it seems like the more that comes in, the more that they keep. I mean, obviously these are just estimates, but they keep leaning it for Ossoff. There, he's at 64%. This is here. Let's do all votes. This is Purdue and Ossoff, and it looks like they still. He's got a big. This is votes remaining. A big chunk in Atlanta, a big chunk in Fulton.
Big chunk in Chatham.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, right now, I'm going to give Democrats.
It really depends on this area right here. That's the ball game.
I'm gonna give the Democrats chance of winning both seats, probably 70% right now, and I think for certain they're going to take at least one of the seats. I'm gonna go do a live an update for my live, and then I'll be right back on. So because I told them I was going to do it, but yeah, I know I'm jumping on and off, but it is.
You're fine.
So I'll be back on probably 20 minutes.
All right. Peace. 21 minutes, you're banned for life.
Yeah, another one, Peach County. Purdue's underperforming there as compared to November. He's down 3 points. It's 73% reporting, but he's only up by 3, and he won that district up by 6 in November.
See, I love that we have Nala and Tommy because they are like legit number crunchers when it comes to this.
What site are you looking at, Nala?
So I'm looking at New York Times. I'm like an Excel nerd. I exported all the information out from November and just kind of ran schedules comparing what it's looking like now to November's.
Someone on the right.
All right. Awesome.
This is why we like education on this side.
I'm wondering, is that what I'm guessing November is what they're basing these estimates off of?
How does Alan look like? I just wonder if that's looking like.
So
all blue mail-ins.
Huh? What's that?
The mail-in is all still blue counties, but
well, this is what's been counted already, and this is what they have. This is what they have estimated left. So he's still got about
votes.
How many votes are in already? Where is that at? Because I think they're thinking the total vote count's going to be what, about 4 million, something like that. So,
don't hate me, guys, but it is 9:30 and I have not had dinner. I'm also going to hop off, I think. And I don't know why my volume's been so weird the whole time. Like with Tim and John, like every time you all talk, it's been like, I don't know why, it just sounds like what I explained earlier, like the Darth Vader thing. Like, John, I think you were saying something when, like, my dog hopped in my lap, and I could not hear you.
I said, Kitty!
Okay.
It's because you're on your phone, man. The phone, the volume's always, it's just just not as good.
Yeah, because like I could tell you're all talking, but honestly, like it's just like it was fine earlier, but I think it's like when someone tried to call me and I popped back on, it just got all weird. But yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
I'd
Thanks
love
for
to do it
coming on.
again. Just whenever you do something like this.
Yeah, usually we have like, you know, set topics and stuff. This was just kind of, you know, watching the election. But yeah, most definitely.
Cool.
We'll set something up in the future. Let's
All
see
right.
what TYT's got going on here.
Cool. All right, y'all have a good night.
All right, peace.
Well, under the freeways because we can buy guns. Like that's the hot thing about being American. We can buy a gun, and a lot of people, other people can't all over the world. And that's just really an indicator of what is happening in this country and why we need to address.
Seem to be on some other shit.
From education to the climate.
What's that?
Dave's not here. Says Cobb County, Atlanta hasn't been counted yet, and that's massively Democrat.
Dave's not here, man.
And Marianne is saying Kelly has taken the lead. I mean, they're going to go back and forth for a second. So, what I expected.
That's
those early big jumps, though.
There it is. Peacock, yeah.
The race.
Yeah, I'm trying to compare right now the votes that have come in some of these, like mainly looking at those counties that Warnock pulled off, but Ossoff couldn't. And I mean, on the plus side, they're all down in voter turnout. And these are all like rural red counties. So, I mean, it's going to be such a close election, but it's at least what we wanted to see. Like them not wanting to come vote because it was fake.
and there's, you know, yeah, like Purdue's ahead now too. But the thing that's going to win it for the Dems is going to be the outstanding vote in, you know, the Atlanta metro area. And that's going to be the very last thing to be counted. Just same thing with Biden's election. See if I can pop this screen up a little further.
Dave, you calling it for both Democrat?
Huh?
I'm asking Dave here. He says, I'm calling it Democrat. And I said, both of them? One of them? Which one?
Oh, the comments.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I keep an eye on the comments. Like, that's my gig.
I thought you were saying
they're both gonna win. I don't know what Dave's talking about, but I feel better than I thought I would feel tonight. And I know it's tough because they're like COVID elections and we just never really know. But like this is what I wanted to see. So
I'm happy with where it's at right now.
I'm happy to see that Ossoff decided to jump TikTok and like really start getting up on Twitter and on Instagram. Like he started that. I think I was talking about AOC earlier, where AOC, hey Evan, where AOC was like, when they were trying to blame the progressives for the reason why they didn't win those seats back in the House, where they lost the seats, and AOC clapped back and was like, yeah, you blame us progressives, but you guys were not running a digital campaign in the middle of a pandemic, and we did, and people won our seats back. So whose fault is it really? Like,
doesn't seem to be.
Well,
I guess it's a little bit.
Sorry.
No. I was talking to myself about the screen. I was trying to blow the picture up a little bit. So
Marianne, I wouldn't be too worried about Warnock losing. Like, he's not going to be the one to lose.
Much more Ossoff. Yeah, Warnock. I think I would be shocked if Warnock didn't pull this off. Ossoff, I feel like, is the one to worry about, right?
Yeah, well, he had to make up 88,000 votes, and Warnock actually he got the biggest percentage last time, but Doug Collins was in the race before, so that took like 17-20%. But yeah, we still got a bunch of vote, and I mean, according to New York Times, they keep going more and more in favor of the Democrats, but there's still a ton of vote in DeKalb, Fulton.
Yeah, and those are all heavy.
Clayton. I think those are going to take the longest because they're cities. They just they have more votes. They're not as staffed as well, And it's crazy when you look at these maps.
I washed my hands like 6 times, and I can still smell the hair salon on me.
Where's it? I had it Washington Post. Where's it at? There it is. But if you look at the damn maps throughout time, like how you see how crazy the rural city divide is. Like look at this. Is it on screen? Hold on, yeah. Okay. Like you see here in 1992, like Bill Clinton won because he got all these pockets, throughout the state. I mean, look at how much blue. You know what I mean? And that was the last person or Democrat to win Georgia. And you can just see steadily. I mean, there's still a lot of blue, still some blue, a little bit of blue. And then now look at it. I mean, it's basically, this is just all fucking blue. And then everything else is red.
Well, what I'm seeing on this map is the progression of people fighting back against voter suppression. Like, you can see it fight all the way back to where they needed to be. I think that's the optimistic cynic in me.
No, I totally agree. I watched an interview a couple months ago, and I want to say, or not even a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, and I don't think it was Killer Mike, but it was a rapper activist who's like really stronghold in Georgia, and he said Georgia is blue.
It's gotta be Killer Mike, yeah.
It might have been, and he said Georgia is blue. Georgia's been blue for a while if they would let us vote. And so I think you're totally right. They are pushing back against that voter suppression, and honestly, the person to thank for that is
Stacey.
Why am I totally blanking on Stacey Abrams? Yeah, I mean, Stacey Abrams and Black women in Georgia deserve everything that the Democratic Party can give them. They have held this democracy together on their own, basically. They deserve it all.
Right, that's what I was saying earlier. I was like, I don't really agree with a lot of Stacey Abrams, a little too centrist for me, but you got to give it up to her. Like her strategy in Georgia, her get out the vote campaign is second to none. Like she has really put in the groundwork and done an amazing job. And if Brian Kemp wouldn't have purged 600,000 people from the voter rolls in 2018
and stolen an election, yeah.
So I have to say this really quick. It's off topic, but Darla, my friend has us up on his big screen, and his dog's staring us all down right now.
On the big screen? Oh no, this face right now is not meant for big screen.
He used to be the Los Angeles Orange County regional makeup artist Laura Mercier. He can see right through makeup. So whether you're up or not, he can see exactly what's on there. You can see right through the hair.
We're at 75% now.
I'm honestly shocked at how quick these results.
That'll make your head spin. It's almost impossible.
I didn't think that they'd come in quick.
So where do you start?
Yeah, honestly, I thought I didn't know if we'd get this far either, just because of all the craziness going on.
Which very few people.
I think they were ready for it.
I can tell you as a trial lawyer that
is
a decisive factor that will go into the jury room.
Every fucking eyeball in the country has been on Georgia for a month now. When Trump's not calling fraud on something. That's the funniest thing of going back to that Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp is probably the sleaziest governor in the country, the most slimeball governor. But even he wouldn't bow to Trump's just absurdity, and now he's like radical left deep state guy, according to them. Like, do you know who you're talking about? Brian Kemp is the worst.
You can change all that.
He made it so hard to vote in 2018. When he went to vote and put his card in the machine, it rejected him.
And by discipline
that just says it all right there.
Officers are also not being.
I mean, it's like I love the karma and the chickens coming home to roost. Like you can't. The Republicans clung to somebody that would carry them to victory through 2016, and they clung to somebody who had no ideology. He doesn't care about the Republican Party. He doesn't care about the base. He cares about only himself, and so he'll burn it all down with him. And I think that it's almost comical to watch. I think we all, a lot of us thought that the 2016 was going to be the into the Republican Party, that demographic shifts, that, it just wasn't in their favor anymore. But I think we all got to watch 4 years of watching it erupt.
Yeah, but that only
and
thing
now.
about yourself, that's really on brand for Republicans.
I'm on the board of the Better
Mhm.
Government Association.
Well,
which brought
Trump
about
was able
the
to
Kennedy contract.
he was able to get out people that never would have voted. Like he's brought out a group of people, and that's another reason why the polling is so hard to do anymore, because he's like, pumped up a section of people that until 2016, until he was around, never gave a shit, never voted in an election, just like this, off the grid kind of
NBC News contributor Jill
person,
Warren-Banks. Jill,
and
good talking to you.
that's
Thank you very much.
that's his people, and they don't poll well. They're not like wife, 2 kids, and upper middle class job. They're interesting lot, to say the least.
I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow. The day that everybody on the right has been going to wait for it. Well, I mean, after we were supposed to go to, and then after we were supposed to wait for December 14th, and then after we were supposed to wait for something else.
Your audio is a little goofy, John. Is it? Can you hear him? Okay, Nala.
No, I can't hear him. He's like muffled.
Yeah, you're like muffled. You weren't just a minute ago. Talk again. Sorry.
Am I still muffled?
Elbert, Amanda,
That was a little better.
Evans,
Yeah.
Franklin,
I think you were just too far away, maybe, or something.
Well, no, I was saying I'm excited for.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Habersham is right.
We're gonna have
Harris, Hurd,
you're gonna have
Jenkins,
all the chaos. Please tomorrow. On the right, they're telling us they've been pushing back on goalposts for so long. Like, wait until election day came and went. Wait until SCOTUS came and went. Wait till all the other court cases came and went. Wait until December 14th came and went. Wait till January 6th. Like, no, like, wait until the 20th. Like, I'll push it back for you. I'll push it back as far as it can go. Wait until the 20th at 11:59 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. How's that sound?
Well, and Trump's just stringing it along because it's a perfect grift. Like he's made so much money off of this, like as far as donations. It's the perfect grift. I signed up to his email list just to see, but they literally send you like 16 emails a day, dude. Like, don't let the deep state steal it. Give us $20. It's absolutely insane.
This was great. He went in on all the bullet points from that audio and was like, debug.
This poor man that's on the screen right now. He's like, I'm pretty sure a prior auditor, because I've watched all of his like speeches, and he even says, he's like, I'm excited, I get to go through the numbers now, and like he breaks my heart. Like the way that Trump just like tries to destroy him, and he's like an auditor. He's like, I'm just giving you the numbers. Like he's the only one in this entire thing of the Republicans in Georgia that I actually feel bad for, because I feel like he genuinely just wants to give you the numbers.
That's the largest single one.
Yeah, right. And he that press conference yesterday, he just straight up, like John said, just bullet pointed everything and laid it all out. And they're still just like, no.
Or however you say her name, or she like points all the music.
Scratching and clawing over the several hours.
And then somebody made this
big tranches of
this interpreter.
Yeah, you're cutting out again, John. I don't know if it's like you. Yeah, I can't hear you at all now.
Oh, you're right. It's my signal. Hold on.
Around the cities. And lots of
but I mean, and going to what he's saying, like it's comical to watch these Trump supporters just totally devoid of reality, and like, they think January 6th, they think January 20th, they think all these things, but those dates are coming. And I think that especially Trump's now doing that like big showcase tomorrow with all their supporters there. Like the last thing that these violent, like unrational people need is someone fueling their fire on the day that they're all in DC. And so I'm
right. They're out there now.
And tomorrow when he goes out there and he makes his speech to them and he fuels that fire even more from a group of, thousands of angry, armed people, it's comical because, he sends them emails all the time and he needs the money. So, I guess it's good that he's getting the money because he's actually broke. But all he's doing is continuing to radicalize 70 million people in this country. And I don't know how we come away from that in the end.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of what my content is, and a lot of stuff I cover on stream is just the absurdity. And like a couple months ago, I was saying things are off the rails, and recently I'm like, I don't even know how to word it or how to put it into words anymore, because like you said, this guy is just completely radicalizing these people, a good chunk of people. The exit polls in Georgia say 72% of Republicans think that the election was stolen.
Can you hear me now?
I mean, that is a number of people. You got yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was much better. Over 50% of people, Republicans that is, believe QAnon.
Yeah.
Like, he is for nothing but his own gain, because he, like you said, he doesn't have a belief system. It's just whatever's best for him. For nothing but his own gain, he is just fucking burning down a big section of the country, and we're all gonna have to pick up the pieces. It's literally what he did in The Simpsons. Like, he destroyed the country, and Lisa had to fucking fix it.
Only I don't know that we have a bunch of Lisas in our government right now. We have a handful of them, and then the rest are all Barts, and they're not going to come help.
Right, exactly. We got not enough Lisas, too many Barts.
Yep.
Associated Press.
This is the rally that's going on right now, and these people are fucking.
That's not happening now. That happened a while ago, or something.
No, it's happened today. This is today.
Yeah, but not now.
So what do? I'm going to give everybody 3 action steps, and then we're going to peace out. I'm going to peace out. We can stay here, okay? 1, huge models are fake. You, ugly truth, fake cases, fake case studies, fake tests. Gee, they're grabbing your freedoms. Turn to the person next to you and give them a hug. Someone you don't know. Go hug somebody.
And just
spread it out. Mass spreader. It's a mass spreader event. It's a mass spreader event. It's a mass spreader event. There you go. Hug it out. I'm married, but if you want to give me a hug too, or we can do that. Second thing we do, send me a text.
Oh.
Principal's office, to the teacher's office. Then I went to the principal's office. And I said, the Gibsons are not socialists. We're capitalists. We buy our pencils and we take care of our things well.
Well, that's good.
And if any of the other children need anything, you let me know. I'll bring them pencils too. But my kids will be using their own pencils. To the teacher's office. Then I went to the principal's office.
Yeah, our country's, slowly dying. That's pretty much what I got from that.
I mean, it's so frustrating because, I understood the Trump voter in 2016, not the racist one and the awful one, but the one that was wanting a populist candidate who said that they were going to stop sending jobs overseas and they were going to be there for the middle class. I mean, we all knew that he was a car salesman and he wasn't going to do it, but I get those people. And this is what happens when you disenfranchise millions of voters. Like, they become radical and they either go left or right. And the right ones, I don't know what we do with them.
Right. Well, and Bernie, should have been in 2016 was the year that they were just totally over it, because Obama was supposed to come in and be this, candidate of change, and he ended up just being kind of a do nothing centrist that was blocked at every possible corner by Mitch McConnell. But the Democrat establishment was able to push back on Bernie, but the Republicans, they weren't able to do it. And like you said, I understand why people voted for Trump, because they were sick of the regular politicians. People wanted higher wages. They wanted health care. They wanted, the government to actually do something for them. And Trump, the reason he won is because he went to the left of Hillary on things like health care. But I mean, if I think, like you said, anybody that really knew what they were looking at knew it was all horseshit, but it was appealing to a lot of people. And now we are fucking dealing with the
fucking if you voted for Trump in 2016, if you didn't vote for him this time, then you and I are cool. But if you voted for him a second time, you're saying damn well what he's capable of, damn well the divisiveness that he pushed for, and how hateful and self-serving he is. His healthcare. We're going to repeal and replace it. haven't done either. So like cut all these protections that actually help your constituents. But, like
polling shows that confidence
didn't replace it. He kept saying, and then we're going to replace it. During all his interviews, right, leading up to the second election, he kept saying, and then we're going to replace it with something better. He kept speaking in a way that he was just outwardly admitting that he didn't have any plan. We knew he had no plan. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to bring all these jobs back. And the left was constantly like, look for his survey, look for his
Hey, John, hold the mic up to your mouth or something. I think.
Is that better?
Yeah, there you go.
I think it has something to do with my signal. But like, he said he's going to bring all these jobs back.
Right now, just with everything that's going on.
Like, he didn't bring jobs back. Like he claimed he was going to. Like all of his merch
not only did he not bring jobs back, he shipped more jobs overseas.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I love.
He exasperated every problem that we had. They voted for him to fix. He exasperated it.
Right.
So much worse.
And I loved that basically from the day that the ACA passed, Republicans got elected and won the House, the Senate, and really the presidency on repeal and replace. And they immediately fucked that up and then never tried to do it again.
It's like
repeal and replace was the thing for 8 years.
Never do it. That's conservative amount. Look at like Supreme Court. Supreme Court has been conservative dominated for like what 58 out of 59 years. And in that time, every single time, they were going to like repeal or get rid of Roe v. Wade, overturn Roe v. Wade. And they never did. They're never going to. All they have to say is that they're going to, and that will become the vote, and then they don't have to do shit afterwards.
All right. New York Times has a decent looking update.
Right now, both Loeffler and Purdue are in the lead, according to AP. But
according to
that's expected.
According to the New York Times, Warnock has an 83% probability chance of winning, and Ossoff has a 70% probability chance of winning.
Oh no, they're looking at the votes that
they're looking at outstanding votes. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah.
What's your take on that? Do you think that the NYT is on track?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I know, and I've seen it in a lot of comments on my videos. I wish I was live right now so I could be addressing some of those people. It's I know people have issues with the polling, but I think a lot of people too, it'll miss by a couple points and people are see everything's wrong, but everything can change by just a few points. It doesn't mean that the polling was that wrong. Everything is within the margin of error. And I thought the New York Times for the 2020, and to be fair, the 2016 election was pretty accurate. I mean, especially for 2020, it's what I based my map off of, and I followed the entire time. And with them looking at the 70% leaning for Ossoff, they know more than I know about the ballots that are outstanding. And I mean, yeah, Ossoff was my concern. And to see a 70% probability that he wins it at 77% reporting, I mean, if it wasn't COVID, it'd be over. It would be done right now.
Right.
So I'm going to go to bed happy tonight. That's for sure. I'm happy I'm on the West Coast, so I get to watch this for longer.
Go to bed.
Yeah, that whole narrative of the polls were so off. It's the margin of error is 3%, and in 2016, I mean, the polls were pretty much right in that that margin of error. And yeah, same with 2020. The only the things that were off as far as polling was statewide, and to be
the primaries in 2016, super far off.
Yeah.
Okay, so those that are asking about my mic cutting in and out, it's because my signal dropped for some reason. I'm sure my husband is using 18 different things right now, but I just went out there and turn them all off. So if it drops again, I'm gonna cut back in on my MacBook because my iMac is as the router as it can be. I
can hear you much better now.
Yeah, I hear you fine now.
Yeah, it's because my signal. You can see your signal up in the top corner. Right, this is weird. It's mirrored right there, and it was all the way down in the red zone when people are complaining about my. What are the chances of a split ticket? Marianne is asking.
I mean, higher than a.
Again, guys.
Tommy, hey, what's up?
Hey. I feel like a split ticket is the second likelihood at this point. Like if I had to bet money on it, if I was a gambling person, which I'm not, I would be Dems, I'd be split ticket, and then Republicans somehow. I mean, I think Warnock is a shoo-in right now. If I am, I would be just so good.
My take before this all started was, or before the night started, was Warnock was going to win, Ossoff was going to lose. But I mean, I don't know. I usually go by the New York Times, and I always follow them on election night. And I mean, they have it pretty solidly Ossoff. And I know, I mean, just from the election we just went through, there is a lot of votes outstanding in the in the Democrat strongholds. Like there's not that many votes at this point. I mean, the polls have been closed. I mean, we're going on 3 hours here. Republican votes are drying up, and there's still a lot of Dem votes out there, and they're neck and neck. I mean, the Republicans are just barely up.
Oh, wait, we're got more. 79% reporting 71% chance Ossoff wins. I mean, it's just, yeah.
Yeah, 80.
There's just not, their votes are dwindling. And I think people forget too, like, it's not like New York Times is this, you know, radical leftist, like, oh, well, we want the, like, they don't want to be wrong either. They're not making this prediction to have to monitor all the way back or meter all the way back.
Well, I mean, look at the map for votes, estimated votes remaining for the. I mean, all the red areas are gone.
I gotta tell you. So I did my live. I had like 1,300 people on here. People are panicked right now, and honestly, we are in a lot better spot than I thought we were going to be. And I thought the Democrats were going to be 200, 300,000 votes down right now, trying to play catch up. The reality is the Republican areas are gone.
Exactly.
The only reason I'm not calling this is because I don't know what's out in Atlanta and Fulton. If they came out and said we have 150 or 200,000, I don't know. If they said that we had 500,000 out in Atlanta,
we can look at the estimates.
And there probably is. There probably is 500,000 out in Atlanta Metro. DeKalb County.
The whole area,
yeah. There's a ton.
The margin is, you know, above that 0.5%. So that way, you don't have to worry about recounts and all that.
This is per candidate, so you got to look at it. But this is what it says. I mean, you could see this whole southern section is gone. I mean, we got maybe 3,000 votes here, 6,000 votes here, 5,000 for Loeffler. I mean, there's only three. About 15,000 votes outstanding in the whole southern part of the state. In the Atlanta Metro, well, let's look at Savannah first. Savannah, about 20,000. They must have mostly counted the Dem votes. Columbus, pretty even up there. So yeah, just like before, it all comes down to this Atlanta Metro, and we got 24,000 for Warnock, about 70%. 82% there, another 9, 45 there, 73% of the vote, or 58% of the vote, I mean. And then let me on that one. There's that other one right there.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so there's, what is that? 100 or 55, about 80, 90,000 votes outstanding there. That's an estimate, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just for Ossoff. And then this is or for Warnock, I mean. And it looks like Ossoff's got about the same, maybe a little less. I mean, it's completely gone for Purdue. There's nothing left there.
I got to be honest with you. The more stuff just came in.
Scott came in too.
I think I'm going to call this right now. I think honestly, I mean, the only thing that that's holding me back is I know there's a ton out in DeKalb County right now. DeKalb, sorry, chat. Everyone's on my
DeKalb, yeah.
I know that there's
here. I was always playing when I was there.
I know that there's a ton out in DeKalb, right? The reality is there's nowhere to make the votes up for him. Yeah, David Perdue may be up 50,000 votes right now, whatever, but there's nothing left out.
There's nothing left for him though.
And I think the only reason that I'm not calling this is not because I don't know the makeup of DeKalb. I don't think that's going to matter. I don't know how much is actually out, but if the reports are right that they're beating the general election turnout, this is done.
Well, a couple states were.
This is done. A couple of counties are beating it. Republican voting is down. Democrats voting out. I think it's just over.
Well, Warnock is down about 40,000, and what do we look at? About 80,000 outstanding.
In DeKalb alone, we could win the thing. And everyone on my chat is panicked. And the reality is, I'm not.
Everybody on your chat always panics.
I know. I'm not worried.
Have you been alive the last 4 years? I mean, there's no such thing as absolutes anymore. We live in the upside down. Some guy in fucking DC was just celebrating a mass spreader event. I mean, there's no hope.
Fair enough.
Can you guys hear me better?
And I mean,
well, not.
I know what you're saying now. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me better?
What?
Yeah.
We lost it. Okay.
Well, and they're overperforming in all these counties. I mean, Cobb County was plus 11 for Ossoff is what he ended with. He's up 20. I mean, these are just, right. and every red area I'm looking at, I mean, they're minuscule. They're like 1%, but these rural Georgia areas, all the voting is down by about 1%. And I mean, you stretch that across the board, we knew it was going to be a close race.
Right.
So I think that, I mean, yeah, I made my prediction like a day ago that I think it'll be both of them. And I would call it right now too. I think that the Democrats will win it. I just don't see the numbers for the Republicans.
Well, I mean, yeah, look at the map. This is Perdue and Ossoff, and this is estimated vote remaining. I mean, there's just nothing left for red. It's all blue, 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 blue.
I think honestly, the only thing I'm really worried about is Ohio during the general tricked the shit out of me. But this isn't the same case. They had a completely different method. I think I'm just ready to call this. I think the Democrats are going to win both seats.
Honestly, it looks like Loeffler at this point has a better chance than the way the map looks. But I mean,
it's just, yeah. I mean, Republican voting is down 2 to 4% even in bigger counties too, right? It hasn't changed that much in the smaller counties from what I've been seeing, but in the bigger counties, they're down 2 to 4% against them, and the Democrats are up 4, 5, 6% in Atlanta. It just, if there's even like a reasonable amount out, and this is over.
I mean, I don't know. I'd say I'd give it like 60-40 right now, just to be on the cautious side.
Real quick, this Sarge, if it's 50-50, then it would be 0.5% or less, and then an automatic recount would happen anyway to satisfy who had majority of the vote.
Yeah.
I think
in
the Senate. Okay, so in the Senate, if it's split, then the vice president, Kamala Harris, would be the extra one to give majority, or she would choose which had the majority. And being that she's Democrat, she will choose the Democrats for majority. So
are you talking about for policy? Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe I'm just
and I know people are concerned with like Joe. Yeah, that's the best feeling. And I know people's concerned with Joe Manchin. Like Joe Manchin, I made a video about him when I like a months ago, and they took it down for bullying because apparently I was bullying Joe Manchin.
They bullied Joe Manchin.
I'm like, if I want to bully him, I'll call him.
If you're gonna swing,
and then I literally, then they won't put it back up. I like appealed it, and they're like, no, this is bullying. And I didn't save it, so I'm so bummed about it. But I mean, he sucks. I'd much rather be pressuring Joe Manchin as the Democrats wanting legalized marijuana, healthcare, than trying to get the Romneys and the Murkowskis and the Collins of the world to have a heart that they haven't had for 4 years in fighting a monster. Like, so I get people's issues with Joe Manchin, and what I'm hoping for is that Joe Manchin flails on some of these things and loses his seat finally. He's not a Democrat. And so, I mean, either way, it's kind of a positive for us. That progressive movement, I think, like electing these two Democrats, even though they're not super progressive, even though like Ossoff has a great money out of politics stance, like it pushes our agenda forward no matter what.
Yeah, well, see, like I say all the time, that people think that Democrats are left. They're not. They're right. They're slightly right of center majority of the time.
Yeah.
So,
In a better world, the Democrats that would be the Republican Party, and the progressive wing would be the left. Like
what
the
would be
Democrats.
great for me is if the Green Party wouldn't be such like a pacifist party, because I swing back. I'm just saying.
Well,
I agree with everything except for the whole pacifist approach to conflict. I swing back. I don't swing first, but I swing back.
Currently, Ossoff's down by about 70,000 votes, though, and Warnock's down 40.
Yeah.
But we have all that city vote outstanding. By the way, real quick, all the new people that just joined in the last hour or so, if you could like the stream, really, really appreciate it. And everybody's ats, if you want to follow anybody, is down in the description. So, yeah.
So I think that, like, here's my thought here, right? I like obviously, I wouldn't say it's my ego, but just seeing how the election went and watching being so cautious about it, and then seeing this, right? I really thought the Democrats were going to be down by several 300,000 votes right now, and they're just not. And
if you're down 100K plus, I'd be worried.
At this point, yeah, probably, but
over Trump, 50 to 49.3%.
There's still so many ballots out in Atlanta Metro.
In the November and the 2016 presidential
I think we're just really, I'm just sort of waiting on that stall. Like, when are the Republican votes really going to stop? And then we're just going to watch the Democrats. They're going to
the New York Times just put it at 73% Ossoff winning. Just jumped it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, what's left for Republicans? Bartow, Columbia, Dodge, Coffee County. The biggest county of those has 24,000 people. You got 2,345. Like, I mean, I think like people frantic get so freaked out on TikTok and they don't see the numbers. But it's like, yeah, there's a lot of red, but no one lives there. Like, there's not enough numbers from it. Everyone
land don't vote.
I mean, there's
I can't wait to have that argument several times over again.
There's a couple of counties around. There's a couple of counties around Atlanta out in the suburbs, but they're 20, 30,000 votes outstanding. You know.
Yeah, Coletta County is probably a big one to look for.
I mean, just what we looked at on the estimates for the Times, there was 100,000 outstanding. I mean, yeah, and it just cue the fucking voter fraud, election fraud claims now. Let's just start figuring out what the narrative.
He already started it.
If you guys yeah, but if they would have like flown more flags off their trucks for Trump instead of Purdue, and they didn't boycott. But they're not going to take accountability for their actions. They're like, no, I didn't vote. You guys cheated.
I think I might stream the chaos tomorrow too, because if fucking 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, Ossoff and Purdue or Ossoff and Warnock pull ahead, like tomorrow is just going to be a shit show.
I got a full box of popcorn ready to be popped. That's gonna be me all day.
We may win every election going forward because the Republicans have convinced themselves it doesn't matter. Like the vote's going to be stolen from them.
It's going to be progressive.
The goddamn lizard people stole it from us, Bill.
Hey, I'm having a hard time hearing with the MSNBC thing going. Sorry, I just
no. I was turning it down anyway.
Think about it, right? The Republicans, what, 100? I don't know, 60 years perfecting voter suppression, only to turn around and use it on themselves.
It's
beautiful.
They did it so well that they fucking turned on their own people.
And it's like,
God, they did such a great job.
It's like,
and what we have to do as progressives is make sure that we don't emulate that on our side, because it's tough. Like, I know we all have different ideas of how to get people health care and equality, but like we're watching that base implode on itself because they, have these little discrepancies amongst each other that we all laugh at. My biggest concern on the left is like we have to continue to work together and like learn from what they're doing.
Well, like, I want to see, okay, so after the Republican Party destroys itself, I want to destroy the Democratic Party, or the Democrat Party, while taking down the Electoral College, because then people would actually be voting on like what they need instead of like what they're being told they need by an entire party of people. I think like breaking down, giving the two-party system kind of a run of how things go. Obviously, it's been failing the people. Clearly, like maybe it's time to get rid of the two-party system. Ranked choice voting, although I think Maine kind of screwed that one up, not explain.
You froze.
Did I?
Froze. Yeah, for a second there. You're good now, or you were. No, now you're not.
Yeah, I like ranked choice voting. I wish we did more of that.
I think that's a much better. Ranked choice voting is possible. Getting rid of the two-party system, it's just, I mean, just not in our lifetimes. I mean, I don't know. Like, never say never.
Never say never.
There's so much infrastructure and just, you know, it's just so ingrained in our system. I think the easiest push would be to abolish the Electoral College. Well, probably ranked choice voting might be a little easier to get, but the Electoral College is just such a shit system. Like, it literally makes only like 7 states matter, and that's nobody is ever going to give a shit about Arkansas forever unless, you know, we have get rid of the ranked choice vote or get rid of the Electoral College.
I mean, when I have my own issues with New Mexico, like personal issues with New Mexico, when they are like getting more attention. New Mexico, when they're getting more attention than Arkansas. I mean, like,
well, I mean, even literally the biggest state in our country doesn't matter. In California, we all know, you know, Joe Biden never fucking had an office there, I don't think, and he won by 3 million votes. You know, so it's all that matters.
And it's a reason that a lot of these states fall by the wayside. I mean, California is fortunate to have, you know, pretty consistent blue leadership and is doing well just because Silicon Valley's there and the economy does so well. And, you know, the Pacific Northwest does pretty well too, but we fall by the wayside because they forget about us and they only
and she froze.
Care about the Floridas of the world.
Oh.
Is everybody on the internet right now just panicking? Why can't
worlds and like Arkansas and Alabama are the same.
You're freezing a little bit, Anala.
Yeah, it's happening to me.
Okay, so
apparently they don't give you a broadband because your state doesn't matter. I guess I don't know.
Xfinity fucking blows, man. It's either that or CenturyLink. Those are 2 options.
I have what is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
My bad.
No, you're good.
I was screaming too much, I think.
Hey, I'm in Arkansas. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry that, I mean, it's not your fault, Melissa. Your state just doesn't matter.
Hey, Melissa, at least you're not Florida. I made a video on my TikTok a while ago. Let me know when I cut out. I made a video on my TikTok a while ago that when like we're discussing like national issues and stuff, and someone from Florida goes, "I'm from Florida," and every state goes, "Okay, this guy," you know, like. That's Florida. Florida.
Well, I grew up in Florida. It literally is the shithole of the, like, you just know when something dumb comes across the screen, you're like, "Guy, it's from Florida, right?"
I mean, it's shaped the way it's shaped for a reason.
Like Tampa's like the, like even other Floridians are like, "Oh shit, Tampa, fuck."
Lumpkin County just came in. It's looking better for. Well, not better for Purdue, like in general, just he should be doing better in that county this time around, but there's still half the vote out, and it doesn't matter because it has like not shit for votes. That's weird. He's doing better in some counties, but not like a ton, but he is doing better in some counties. A lot worse in most of them.
I think it's also important that people know how many votes are 10% of the votes. Because when people see it like closing in on 90% and it's not where they want it to be, they're going to panic because they're not realizing that 10% could be anywhere from 350,000 to 500,000 votes. All like not all, but like a big majority of that Democratic. You know what I mean?
I mean, look, Warnock's got an estimated almost 200,000 votes left in just DeKalb County. Right now, when we looked a second ago, New York Times had it at 73%. Now it's 75%. And where's the other one? I mean, you can see this is Purdue's map, or Purdue and Ossoff. I mean, there's just no vote left. For 4,000 votes there.
Hold on real quick. Kai.
2,000 there.
Kai saying PA is objecting the results. I mean, they can't, it's already been certified. So if they're going to object in the House and the Senate or whatever during the count, they're going to it's just going to waste time is all it's going to do, because the Democrats run the House.
Yeah, let's talk about, so yeah, because I got my live going. What's going to, well, they can stall all they want. It doesn't matter. After they can't come to an agreement, which I think they have 2 hours to. It's not for all electors, like a 2-hour challenge, right? If they can't come to, I think they can extend it a little bit, but the reality is by tomorrow, what happens if they can't come to an agreement is it reverts to the certification of the Secretary of State, and then that's it. Nothing's going to happen.
This goes to show you right here how much of a show that whole thing is. GOP lawmakers plan to challenge Biden's win in at least 3 states, but don't want to debate past midnight. That's the official story coming out. So they just want to make a show of it. It means absolutely nothing. They're gonna just make a show of it all day. It's like 2 hours per objection, and they'll probably make 3 objections, 1 per state. That'll be it, and we'll be out of there.
I think Ossoff and Warnock winning this would be amazing, and it's very clearly probably it's in part because the Democrats think they can win, but they're up to vote right now is very clearly them thinking this is a fraud. They didn't have to convince everyone, just enough.
What do you think they're going to do with Pennsylvania State Senator?
What?
What do you guys think they're going to do with the Pennsylvania State Senator, since they won't seat him having less than 100 votes, according to Joseph?
I mean, I'm sure there's a couple challenges they could do or something, but again, I'm pretty sure it's just a song and dance. I don't think it'll go anywhere. I don't know how. I mean, I've never heard of a senator just not be, or I don't know, is he a senator or a congressman? Whatever. I've never heard of somebody just not being seated because, you know what I mean?
They won by less than 100 votes. Here's the thing. I saw something about a lot of people contesting. The last time a lot of people did this contesting bullshit that they're trying to try right now. Those people didn't get seated. And that was, I think, around Lincoln. But they weren't allowed to be in their respective seats because it was considered like a coup or treason against democracy and the union.
Right. Yeah, I find that funny. Like the thing they keep trying to point to as their reason to why they're not going to seat people or not going to accept electors is known as one of the biggest debacles in the history of the Congress.
It's ridiculous.
Sorry, that was a FaceTime of my son. He's
that handsome little devil. That handsome little leftist.
No, leftist.
I'm gonna make
baby radical leftist.
I'm gonna make some merch for Tommy that says "handsome little leftist."
I know. That's the cutest thing about babies, right? All the onesies, like radical leftists,
right.
The are endless.
Yeah, I bought my little nephew a Ramones onesie when he was 6 months old or whatever. It's like, hell yeah.
He's like, what is going on? I can barely lift my head. Well, if he was 6 months old, I could lift his head at that point, but.
Damn, it's the man's fault. Can't even lift my head.
Warnock is at a 90% probability now to win.
I'm calling it.
He's trailing by 0.8% right now, and then you got Ossoff trailing by 2.6% right now. Right now, right? Operative word there, guys, is right now.
Right. Yeah, at this point, the Republicans are about out of votes.
Yeah.
And you guys saw the map. Fuck, we all.
This guy looks angry as shit.
Oh my God, he does.
He's just like.
I love how they show
out of votes.
50 minus 48 is. I don't need the visual of it.
I'm calling it, honestly. They're both Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff are both going to win. There's 150 plus Democrats out, giving them in addition in Georgia or in just DeKalb County. I don't know how close it's going to be, but the reality is there's so many votes out in Atlanta right now. It looks like the Republicans have stalled like we thought and knew they were going to do. They didn't get a good lead out the gate like I thought.
Yeah, they needed a bigger lead out of the gate.
I think this is over.
We looked at just like you said, in DeKalb County alone, there was 200,000 votes out for Warnock. Damn, we're going to be over 4 million. I mean, turnout was high though, because they're at what 3.7 million, about 3.6 million, probably another 400,000 votes at least out. So 4 million in a fucking Senate runoff election. That's
pretty impressive.
Yeah, less than 1 million under what voted in November in a very contentious presidential election.
I think that what people need to be paying attention to here is everybody woke up. This is probably we had the largest turnout for the general election, right? And we have such a huge turnout for this runoff election, and usually these smaller elections don't get any attention at all whatsoever. I kept saying, hey guys, don't forget, we gotta vote in 2022, and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, August 2022, there's another election. You guys need to be paying attention. These are for seats in the House and the Senate and whatnot. And no one, I don't know. I think that social media, especially because of the pandemic, I mean, it's blown up over the years since 2016, 17. It's gotten bigger, but because of the pandemic, so many people have been forced to put themselves into the ether that is social media, and everywhere you turn, there's some kind of woke message being thrown in your face, and there's a lot of the opposite of that as well. But I mean, it's good to know that we might not be the most educated country in the world, no matter what people try to say. I've talked to people in real life here, and they're not educated. But that's given us an edge and an advantage, especially in a time when we can pull a source like that. We don't have to dig through our shit to find you can pull a source hands down, no problem. Today someone was like, I don't know everything in the salon, and I was like, I do. And they're like, yeah, you do know everything, don't you? I'm like, yeah, we all do. It's right here in your hand. Everything is literally right here in your hand.
So this is what I've seen somebody in the comments talk about this. I didn't know what they were talking about. This is what Trump just dropped, or the Pennsylvania just dropped. Dear Leader McConnell and Leader McCarthy, as members of the Pennsylvania Senate, we believe in the integrity of the election process. After speaking with our colleagues, a majority of the state Senate is troubled with the many inconsistencies that happened in our Commonwealth during the 2020 election. Due to the numerous unlawful violations taken by the Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf, Secretary of State Kathy Brockvar, and the rogue state Supreme Court, the balance of power was taken from the state legislatures, who by the U.S. and PA Constitution set the time, place, and manner of holding the elections. Blah, blah, blah.
How's that 10th Amendment doing?
7 weeks. It's just saying. 2019, that was signed into law, provides the following clear provisions. All mail-in ballots must be received. That's basically just saying what they're pissed about. Secretary of State Kathy Brockvar also usurped legislative authority by allowing a pro-life proliferation of unsecured drop boxes in key Democratic areas on the day before the election. In addition to these inconsistencies, certified Republican poll watchers in Philadelphia were prohibited, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's see what their requests for legislatures for independent investigations have been ignored by the administration. Due to these inconsistencies and questionable activities, we believe the PA election results should not have been certified by our Secretary of State. Members, we ask for time given the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court is to hear Trump versus Brockvar in the coming days. We ask that you delay certification of the Electoral College to allow due process as we pursue election integrity of our Commonwealth. Very respectfully. These fucking
There's
people.
nothing very respectful about anything about any of them in any way, shape, or form.
I very respectfully shit all over the country.
I mean, this is Trump strongmanning someone in Pennsylvania, and it's baffling too because it goes back to math. Okay, so say Pennsylvania's overturned, like what the fuck are you doing with the other 4 states? Like it's like as if Pennsylvania or Georgia magically won Trump the election. Like no one can do math anymore and pretend that 306 didn't get the victory. I mean, I can't with them anymore.
I mean, shit, 286. That's not more than 270 because when you say 2 plus 2 is 4, they say, well, what about 2 plus 3? That's not 4.
Right.
That's where this country thrives. Like the stupidity. I mean, it's
so
why they're
true.
going to this Georgia election and freak out. Like 85% reporting. Loeffler's up 1.8, Perdue's up 3. But the New York Times has a projection of both Ossoff and Warnock winning, and they don't get it. And so they immediately just shout fake news, and it's like that. Or you just read, they don't understand it, so they immediately it's in their favor. They say it's right, and they're like, look what Pennsylvania did, and it's really a testament to what the Republicans have done to this education system.
Well, Republicans love football, unless someone's kneeling for a flag. But like Republicans love football, and it's like, hey, like the game isn't over the third quarter, the game isn't over halfway through the fourth quarter. Like the game's over when the game's over. Like why all of a sudden? And I mean, that plays back into the analogy of pushing the goalposts back. Like, I mean, maybe Brady got away with it, deflating some balls here and there, but like, it's
Tommy
not gonna happen for
Brady.
Don't trust no Tom Brady, so don't worry.
This journalist Brad Keefe says we're seeing a trend in deep red North Georgia counties that are 100% reporting lower overall turnout, and that's pretty much the ball game because North Georgia is substantial in size and very, very red, and that was where if Trump's all the elections are fraudulent and they fucking cheated me shit was going to have an effect. That's where it was going to be, and it seems
and it's like, you guys, that's Republican counties that were like underreporting, like
right.
Cherokee's in.
I saw that stupid like promoted article where it's like trespassers stop trespassing. We're getting tired of burying the bodies. And then another one, it was like, no trespassing. You will be shot, and this sign will act as Exhibit A.
Ossoff 78% win probability.
Warnock is at 92.
92.
It's over. It's over.
I
want to see a.
It's done.
I just can't wait to watch it. Just
cue the conspiracies, boys. I'm gonna have a lot of content the next fucking week. I know that. God,
I'm gonna be saying no in my comment section a lot. No. If someone's like, they cheated. Nope. Nope.
I wish all I could say is no. I like look at your guys' comments, and my trolls are so much worse than yours. And I'm like talking about increasing the minimum wage, and they're like, "Fuck you!" Like it's like so awful. I can't even believe it.
I've had a troll,
dude. I deal with the QAnon people. Like I go into the Q stuff all the time, and that's the crazy people on the internet.
That's a dangerous territory.
My comments aren't even close to any girl that's on political TikTok. The Victoria Hammets, the Tories, Emma.
But they're women. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're women. That's why you guys are getting
trolled. Woman on political TikTok.
Joker Bravo made that point.
Gets fucking filleted,
Oh, we do. Yeah, she does.
I covered that Georgia call and put the link to the entire call in my comments. And I got a comment today from a woman, surprisingly, telling me that I should be gone after for lying about the president. Like that.
You mispronounced pick me.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you though, you know what I to be completely honest, a week ago, if you had asked me, like, not publicly, I didn't want to discourage anyone from voting who I thought was going to win. I probably would have said the Republicans. I thought this was going to be way fucking closer. Like, I thought, like the way it's turning out right now, obviously there's a lot of votes out still, but the way it looks like it's going to turn out, this probably is not going to be that close. But I thought it was going to be way fucking closer. And I think it's
won if Trump wouldn't have pulled this shit.
What's that?
They would have won if Trump wouldn't have pulled this shit.
Yeah, they would have. 100%. I'm 100% certain they would have. It happens every time with the Georgia runoffs.
You know what? My argument's going to be when people get upset about it, like, damn, y'all, Trump did you guys dirty, man, telling all those people not to vote, and then at the last second telling them to vote, and his like compadres telling them not to vote, and like they didn't vote in those red counties, man. Like there was an underwhelming like turnout in the red counties. That's like, man, he shot you guys in the foot. Like it seems like he doesn't really have your back, and just like turn it as in like, man, I feel bad for you guys. Even now I feel bad for you. Like shit. Like
yeah, because here's the thing, right? Like Democrats didn't do very well for the Senate stuff, right? Like they did shitty.
Oh.
But the reality is like it looks like right now Mark Kelly took a seat out of Arizona, which was a Republican seat. It looks like we're about to take 2 Republican seats. Like, yeah, we should have probably taken Maine. That's a given. But like, we're gonna take 2 fucking seats in Georgia.
That's where ranked choice voting, I think it wasn't explained properly in Maine. I don't think people really knew what they were doing because that QAnon lady got reelected through ranked choice voting, and I'm like,
the QAnon
people, not a great argument for us.
Support their own.
The amount of QAnon people that were elected this time around is super concerning. Like
my buddy was like, I was on the phone with him. He's straight, so you got to give it. Sorry, guys, but he's a straight man, so he's not all there. And he starts like, "Oh, did you hear about?" And he starts spewing. I don't remember what it was. Some QAnon fucking conspiracy. I was like, "Don't you dare fucking finish that sentence. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, don't want to hear it. Let me guess. Facebook meme. Shut up. Stop." Like, if you can't cite a credible source, like, here's my thing. When people talk to me about like, like, what's your source? I'm like, if you want to talk sources, you need to be able to tell me what an authoritative research database is. If you cannot tell me what it is and where you would have most access to it, you cannot tell me what a credible source is. It doesn't mean you have to use one. You just, you learn how to identify what a credible source is. And it's like,
the funniest thing is they rag against anonymous sources, but then literally it's QAnon is fucking, Q anonymous, and then they call themselves anons. Like their whole fucking thing is this secret fucking CIA network that they've LARPed together, and they're like, anonymous source, don't.
Well, also like one of my things is like, I just lost my train of thought. I had like, first of all, my followers know this. It's not a live unless I eat on live. I eat in almost every single one of my lives at some point.
You do, and you always make me hungry. I'm about to leave. I gotta go cook dinner, so I'm starving.
What? Huh?
Usually I put these in the toaster.
You're such a child.
Oh my gosh, that was the thing Patty like duetted you because he'd never seen one of those Uncrustables before or whatever.
Fucking Uncrustable.
He didn't realize it was just pre-made peanut butter and jelly. He's like, "What is that? Like a pastry? Like a really?"
Honestly, they're so good though. Like I don't buy white bread. I like buy wheat. I was trying to be healthy, but I get those. And I'm like, oh, white bread.
Purdue is up by almost 100,000. The
reality. Have you put it in the toaster yet?
The amount of ballots outstanding in DeKalb County.
The toaster is the way to go.
No, I've never put it in the toaster before.
Out of the freezer though.
We're at 79% for Ossoff and 93% for Warnock.
Raw Boys are in DC right now.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're fucking full force out there.
Tomorrow.
All right, y'all. We've been
gonna be concerning.
We've been at it for a while. I think I'm pretty good with where we're at. I think we're in good. I might hop back on for everybody that's on TikTok. I might hop back on TikTok live here in a little bit if we actually get I don't foresee too much more of the vote coming in. I don't think it's going to be called tonight. So I think we've done about all we can do. If you got anybody that's on the stream, if you could like the stream on your way out, I'd really, really appreciate it. Everybody's TikTok ad is in the description. All my stuff is in the description. I'll probably be going live tomorrow because I'm sure there's a lot of chaos. So we'll be checking out something on stream. So yeah, all my stuff's in the description. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks everyone. Peace out.
Thanks for having me.